So going where we left off, we were introduced to a very important character, I think. Erika, who is Bern Castal's piece now, instead of Angie. And she's her double, I think. And with a name very similar to Bern Castal's human name, I guess. Erika's seat was the lowest one in rank. In other words, it was at the inferior end of the table. Since Kinzo's seat at the high end of the table was empty, if you spun the whole thing around, it sort of looked like Erika was the one, the host of this dinner. Oh.
それでは皆様、
I need more
本日の晩餐
screen
を始め
time.
させていただきたいと思います。
After Gohda's announcement, dinner began with the applause that had become almost customary. It was finally the beginning of the dinner orchestra conducted by Toshiro Gohda. Except for Krauss's household, sitting at such a majestic diner table was no everyday thing for these people by any means. Dinner table. I'm sorry. However, they were all used to this event and act as though it was completely normal. Once again, if anyone was surprised, it should have been Erika. Yet, she showed no signs of amazement at this dinner and acted with composure, blending in with everyone else. There wasn't even a sliver of the fear one might expect for someone who had wandered here like a lost puppy.
不思議な子ですね。後宮家の
Man,
1年間で最も豪華な晩餐を前に何も取り乱さないとは。
her design is something else.
最近の子は肝が据わってるわ。嫌いじゃないわ。
古戸さんはこういう食事には慣れているのですか。大した落ち着きようだ。
ほんまやな。ずいぶん手慣れたもんや。わしなんか未だに次はどのフォークを使えばいいんか混乱するんやで。ああ、こっちやったか。それともこっちやったか。
Without showing any confusion over the line of utensils in front of her, Erika gracefully ate her... Oh my god. I knew how to pronounce this, but I forgot. Hors d'oeuvre. I don't know, I think hors d'oeuvre. I don't know. Hideyoshi had started joking around with her, gripping a fork in each hand. Of course, the president of a company in the food service industry like Hideyoshi obviously knew his table manners. However, thinking that Erika must be nervous over this dinner, he had intentionally spoken in a calm tone of voice.
外側から順に使うだけですし、面倒だったらお箸を頼めばいいんです。日本人ならお箸です。
Okay.
お箸はいいですよ。これ一膳あればどんな料理でも対処できます。
Oh my god, her voice. As soon as she began talking about chopsticks, her eyes started glittering. The smile she now showed for the first time was far different from the dignity she displayed before, or like something you expect for someone her age.
カレーライスはさすがにスプーンでしょう。
丼に盛ればいいんです。牛丼スプーンで食べ
Oh
る
my
人い
god,
ますか？
that face. Oh my god, that face. Oh man.
いませんよね。日本人なら断じて絶対鉄頭鉄尾お箸です。というわけでゴーダさん、すみませんがお箸をお願いします。私が日本人として恥ずかしくない食べ方をご覧に入れてみせましょう。ところで次のお料理は何ですか？
それが困ったことに、次はスープでございまして。
As she emitted a shrugging gesture, Erika winked at everyone. Oh man, she really does. Oh man, she's gonna be great, I think. Oh man. Of course, no one was laughing at her. She obviously knew that soup came after that in a full course meal. Furthermore, Erika had noticed both that she'd been performing too perfectly and creating a sense of tension, and that Hideyoshi had tried to break that ice because he thought she was nervous. That's why she started acting a little childish and lighthearted, acting out the part of the guest enjoying a harmonious dinner. pretty soon, not only Kyrie, but everyone else caught on. She was an uninvited guest. She was apparently worthy of participating in an USHIROMIYA family dinner.
頭のいい子ね。本当にこの子、偶然の来客なの？実は、今日の親族会議にこっそり読んだ、兄さんの隠し子じゃないの？
賢く、場を和ますセンスもあるようだ。マナーも見事じゃないか。あんな子が娘だったら、悪くはないね。
それはひでえぜ。ジェシカちゃんの立つ瀬がなくならな。
ひどいわ、ルドルフ兄さん。
どうしたんだい、ジェシカちゃん。頭痛かい？
私の評価がずんずん下がってる気がするぜ。
Oh man, Jessica.
こりゃ、本家の令嬢として負けられねえだろ。お前も、日頃、夏日おばさんに仕込まれてるテーブルマナーと貫禄で対抗してみろよ。
Battler is just instigating the issue here.
見たい見たい、テーブルマナー見たい。
ほら、はしゃぐのはマナー違反だよ。ささ、ジェシカちゃん、お手本を見せてあげて。
もちろんだぜ。
Jessica straightened up so much that it looked like someone had poked her back with a pole. She had good posture, but somehow lacked elegance. She looked, well, kind of like a triangle ruler. She sat at attention with her gaze fixed straight ahead, trying to bring her food to her mouth despite this, and failed miserably. Dad, who was sitting next to her, suddenly realized that something was up.
どうしたんだ、ジェシカちゃん。腹でも痛えのか？
Jessica turned bright red. Sorry, I can't help myself. We laughed our heads off. Jessica protested, still bright red. Natsuhi scolded us for being too improper. Well, no matter how much we tried to smooth it over, we are who we are. We couldn't pretend any longer. Still, that laugh really did help us relax. We were so concerned about the guests getting nervous, we got even more nervous ourselves. Our chatter from the center of this long table spread to both ends. And ultimately, the dinner went even more smoothly than usual. You know what I want to see? I want to see Battler and Erika interacting. The human side. I want to see their interaction, actually. Just like Battler and Kinzo never really got to interact. I feel like, man, if Battler and Kinzo, they just faced each other in the end, right? So, and there was that time in episode 2, right at the end. But they never really got to interact much because Kinzo was already dead, I guess. But with Erika, I wonder if they're gonna be close like the cousins are. With some delicious cheese and coffee, our peaceful meal came to an end. Gohda won unanimous acclaim and was praised for his skills by all present. After a short period of harmony following the meal, it was decided that we would return to the guest house. Normally, dinner tended to have a very dark atmosphere about it, and the adults would often keep that mood as they moved straight on to the family conference. However, perhaps because this year's dinners had been oddly peaceful, everyone decided to take a break, the adults included, so no letters. After eating, taking a bath, and relaxing while watching TV, I wonder if they'll gather again in the mansion with all this rain and resume that high-tension family conference of theirs. I'd rather not think about it. Apparently, Aunt Ava is really getting worked up, trying to convince the rest to start the family conference right away. But I didn't look like many people agreed with her. We'll probably call it quits for the night. Since they had guest house duty, Gohda-san and Kumasawa-san were chosen to guide us to the guest house. It's gotta be tough for Gohda-san. Even after making and cleaning up such an extravagant dinner, he also had a late night shift at the guest house. Wait, didn't the murders happen at the guest house though, this time around? Oh man. Thinking, well, nobody other than Krauss and Natsuhi died in the guest house, actually. I think. I I heard that Kumasawa-san, old as she was, would be going to sleep soon. It seemed that she was assigned a spare room.
皆様をゲストハウスまでご案内させていただきます。エリカ様のお部屋もご用意できております。
ありがとうございます。
The cousin, Maria, George, and Jessica were all murdered in the guest house, if I remember.
体調はどうです？
I think it was Genji and Rosa as well.
具合が悪かったりはしませんか？
ああ、そうだよな。
That's the first 6, I think. Or the first 5? Then there's and there is Hideyoshi who was killed with a stake, I think.
すっかり忘れてたけど、エリカちゃんは溺れてて流れ着いたんだよな。
Oh my god, he's interacting with her.
今日は無理しねえで、早く寝た方がいいだろうな。
全然平気です。それよりも緊張と興奮でむしろ寝つけないくらいです。じゃあ遊ぼう。みんなで遊ぼう。トランプしよう。
Maria latched onto her, giggling. This lack of restraint, peculiar to youth, was very much like Maria. However, we really should be concerned for Erika's physical condition now.
マリア、トランプは私たちと一緒に遊ぼう。エリカお姉ちゃんは疲れてるんだってさ。
トランプも好きですよ。一息つきましたら、ぜひご一緒させてください。やったー。
Oh man, yeah. I think that we need more dynamics between the cousins.
どちら様ですか?
Ooh. As she passed through the lobby of the entrance hall, Erika stopped walking. Ooh, the thunder. When we saw that she was looking at, the rest of us also stopped.
ああ、あちらは黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェ様でございますよ。
黄金の魔女。
You would know much about her, wouldn't you, Kumasawa?
何やってんだガキども。さっさとゲストハウスへ引き上げるぞ。
You raised her daughter, and I think you raised her granddaughter as well. Oh man, Kumasawa is definitely hiding her secrets, I think. Dad, Kirei-san, Aunt Eva, Uncle Hideyoshi, and Aunt Rosa all came over. The entire guest house party had gathered. However, Erika's gaze was captured by the portrait of the witch, and she simply stared at it for a while. Ooh. Isn't Erika gonna have a portrait of her own? I saw that in the opening. My eyes don't lie. Ooh, she's gonna be a witch.
ああ、親父は200億相当の黄金を隠し持っていて、その隠し場所をあの碑文に記したって言われてる。
Perhaps it was too early for them all to disperse into their individual rooms, because the relatives who had returned to the guest house all gathered on the first floor, continuing their chat. The topic was the witch's epitaph, which Erika had taken an interest in.
魅力的な謎ですね。誰にでも見られるところに堂々と張り出し、私たちの知恵に挑戦する。そういう挑戦、大好きです。
ひゅー、エリカちゃんは案外ノリがいいな。謎解きとか好きなのか？
面白そうじゃないですか。そういう挑戦、多分金蔵さんはあの碑文によって跡継ぎを選ぼうというつもりに違いありませんね。
When she said that, the adults stopped moving and slowly turned to face Erika.
どうしてそう思うの?
Aunt Eva spoke with a coaxing voice, though every now and then there have been whisperings amongst the relatives that whoever solved the Epitaph's riddle might be given the family's inheritance. This had been no more than a wishful thinking, since such a thing had never been specifically stated. And yet, though she had only read it once, this outsider had already reached that conclusion. How had she come to it? No, that's not the problem. If you solve the epitaph, you can become the next head. She wasn't trying to make it sound like wishful thinking, but an outright fact. So they closed in around Erika, asking why was she so sure. She's the detective.
大富豪が謎を解いた者に富を譲るというのは割とよくあるシチュエーションです。
I got this music. Smile sorry.
そしてご当主の金蔵さんはその碑文を新聞に載せたのではなく、お屋敷の中に掲示しました。つまりこのお屋敷の人間を対象にした謎だということです。
そうだよね。この屋敷の中である以上、この屋敷に出入りできない者には解きようがない。
Isn't this Battler's first time seeing it when he comes to Rokkenjima after 6 years?
つまりこの屋敷の人間にじい
Same as the portrait, I
さまは
guess.
挑戦してきたってわけだ。
グッド。
Oh my god.
良い思考です。あの碑文が屋敷内にあったという一時からでもその程度のことを読み取ることが可能です。
At first, this Furujo Erika girl seemed to be the fairly silent type, but that apparently wasn't the case. As she grew excited by a challenge to a game of wits, she became much more talkative than I'd imagined.
なるほどな。屋敷の中に碑文があるんは屋敷の人間に読ませるためってのは確かに道理や。
でも家督を譲る相手までも選ぶというのは言い切れるものなの？
この謎を解いて得られる宝がほんのささやかなものでしかないなら私もそこまでは思いません。
そうよね。隠された黄金の価値は200億。それはまさに後宮家の財産そのものだわ。
それを受け継ぐということは、後宮家を引き継ぐことと限りなく
Oh my
同じ意
god,
味で
this
す。
music. This music, man.
つまり碑文に込めた黄金の隠し場所という謎は後宮家の実質的な後継者選びに他ならないということです。
The idea that the one who solved the epitaph would be chosen as the successor had been passed down around by some of the relatives for a while now. However, since it had never been specifically announced, it was nothing more than an optimistic dream. Thinking this, they decided to abandon all consideration of this point until the details were made clear. Erika had clearly declared that this uncertain point was, in fact, true. If none of the relatives had said it, people would have thought it be merely an optimistic dream. However, when this was declared by a complete outsider, those words seemed even more credible. Everyone remained silent for a while, slowly considering what those words implied.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけでフルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、
Oh my
皆様
god.
方。
Oh man, she's gonna be... Oh man.
横やりで申し訳ねえけどさ、一応はうちの父さんが次期当主なわけだぜ。隠し黄金を誰が見つける云々はともかくよ、見つけたら当主ってのはそういうことにはならねえんじゃねえかよ。
Jessica thought the treasure hunting part of the epitaph was really fun. However, she couldn't help but let her expression grow bitter once they started talking about undermining her father's position.
私の推理から演繹する限り、金蔵さんは次期当主のクラウスさんに円滑な当主継承を望んでいないと考えられます。
どうしてだよ。
莫大な財産を持つ後宮家の当主なら政治的な意味で様々な影響力を持つことになるでしょう。
Kinzo died prior to this, but he had already made the epitaph by then.
ならば本来その継承は厳格であり、一切の紛れが入るべきではありません。
そうね。うちの人の好きな戦国武将の話でもよくあるわ。後継ぎ候補が複数いたりすると大抵お家騒動の火種になる。
そうやな。だからトラブルを未然に防ぐためにしっかりと後継者を指名しておくのが大切なんや。時には競合する後継者を粛清することさえあるんやで。
I remember reading this in an anime once before actually watching. Wasn't there a guy who had a son and a brother? No, a guy who couldn't have a son, he named his brother as a successor, and then his son was born, and then he named his like 6-year-old son as the successor, and then the brother killed his own nephew. to get the succession. Oh man. The second commander's Hideyoshi admired. Toyotomi Hideyoshi made his son-in-law Hidetsugu commit seppuku. It was rumored that he might have done this to make Hideyori, who was his real son and born after Hidetsugu, his true heir. In other words, naming a successor was a way to make it generally known that a single, unique person would be acknowledged by everyone, and a way to remove any chance of another person becoming an opposing candidate.
グッド、まさにその通りです。
グッド、グッド。
あのような碑文の存在は、クラウスさんの次期当主の肩書きを危ぶませる意味しかありません。つまり、金蔵さんがクラウスさんに当主を円満に継承させたいと願うなら、あのような危険なものをわざわざ人目にさらす理由がないわけです。
そうね。チェス盤をひっくり返せば確かにそう言える。当主は継承するけれども200億の黄金は譲らない。解け。
Oh. Kinzo would pass on the title family head, but he would only give up the 20 billion yen in gold to the person who solved the epitaph. We really couldn't call this passing on the headship in the truest sense.
そうね。チェス盤をひっくり返せば確かにそう言える。当主は継承するけれども200億の黄金は譲らない。解けた誰かに譲るというのはおかしな話だわ。
Oh, I'm sorry.
そういうことです。以上の推理により、金蔵さんがクラウスさんを本当に後継者だと認めていたか怪しむことができるわけです。ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで。
Oh my god, her sprites are amazing, man. Her sprites are just...
古田エリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
Oh my god.
いかがでしょうか、
Oh
ジェシカさん。
oh my god, that face. Oh my god. Oh my god.
なんだよそれ。何が推理だ。デタラメだ。こじつけだ。
Jessica let her emotions laid bare and glared at Erika. Erika, on the other hand, looked exceedingly calm with an expression that said, well, that's just the truth, right? I see. It looks like the table manners aren't the only way this girl is fitting for the USHIROMIYA family. It seemed that she really does match the family. Even when it's better if she didn't. Oh my god.
まあまあ落ち着けよジェシカ。エリカもそれくらいにしろって。
まあその後継者云々の話は置いといてもやな。いずれにせよお父さんからのビッグクエスチョンやというのは間違いないやろな。200億やでマリアちゃん。もし見つけたら何に使う？おお、
黄金鏡は黄金だけじゃない。もっと神聖な場所なの。
Uncle Hideyoshi kept trying to force himself to chuckle and improve the mood. Everyone else tried to play along, but Jessica's mood didn't get any better.
エリカちゃんも碑文の謎に挑戦してみたくなったのかい？
はい、灰色の脳細胞がうずきまくりです。ですので謎解きを早速始めたいと思います。
Oh my god. George and Nikki smoothly turned the conversation around. Just like the time she made everyone laugh in the dining hall, Erika looked about with gleeful eyes and jumped at the chance.
気に入ったわ。せっかくエリカちゃんが面白がってくれてるんだし、また去年みたいにみんなで謎解きをしてみましょうよ。
私コーヒー入れるわ。
Rosa and Eva here as well as Kyrie. Oh, they're gonna solve it.
欲しい人は手を挙げて。マリアはダメよ。眠れなくなっちゃうでしょ。
マリアもブラック飲む。
Oh, hearing ooh from Maria's mouth now makes me very sad. Now that I've noticed.
ワクワクしません？こういう謎。
Ooh, Erika's interacting with Ballard. I need this. I need
私は大好
this.
きです。
Erika said that and smiled, though she must have known that she ticked Jessica off and make the atmosphere sour. She smiled nonchalantly. Oh man.
別に10月5日の事件を待たなくても解ける謎はあるってわけ。
そりゃ俺も何度か挑んださ。だが
でもさっぱりわからなかったから投げ出して考えるのをやめたでしょ。
It pissed me off, but I don't have a good counter for that. After all, I don't get the epitaph at all. I don't even know what the beloved hometown means, much less the parts about that sweet fish river and the key. Think that a few more hints would show up if I waited. I kept on waiting and just stopped thinking.
あなたなりの答えは準備できてる？私が今から解いちゃうから。
Oh my god.
何？
ベルンはね、ここで碑文の謎を解いちゃったのよ。さすが奇跡の魔女ね。解ける謎であるならば難易度に関係なく必ず解ける。今度は解くのに何年かけたの？
失敬ね。かけらをほんの数百個ほど漁っただけじゃない。
Oh god. You both know the meaning of hard work, I guess.
やっぱり恐ろしいわ。
それは赤で答えをいきなり語るとかそういうインチキじゃねえんだろうな。
安心なさい。あなたと同じプレイヤーとしてのルールにのっとってよ。じゃあ始めようかしら。ここじゃ狭いわ。
Let me just
やっぱり恐ろしいわ。あんたは
海の上で話しましょう。
Boom.
オッケー。酔わないでね、バトラー。
The winds.
海って何の話だ？
I thought the whole world had turned pitch black, and in the next moment I was struck by a strange floating sensation. This is really what it feels like to suddenly have the floor drop from under you, sending you into a bottomless pit. Oh. Are they in space? Oh my god. When I looked, I saw that the two witches and I had been thrown into a pitch black universe. Oh my god, moon tourism! Oh my god. I'm sorry. In this space, every direction was covered in endless darkness, and it felt like limitless expanse filled with countless glittering objects. Some people might have likened to the depths of the ocean, where innumerable sparking fragments drifted. Ooh, is this the... Oh.
酔うなと言ったのに。
重力の概念が欲しいなら自分で生み出しなさい。ほら、落ち着いて私たちを見て。ほら、私たちは平気そうにしてるでしょ。足元に大地があって重力に支配されていると信じなさい。そうすれば安定できるから。
Ooh. Yes, the two witches are standing normally, as if their feet were planted on transparent pieces of glass. I'm the only one floating about like someone in a rapidly plummeting elevator. When I saw that they were doing just fine, I started calming down, figuring that there was no need to be scared. Then, just as Lambda Delta said, I gritted my teeth and kept telling myself that there was a place to stand here, that I had to stay calm.
お上手
お上手。あんたの名前は？
後宮バトラー。他の誰に見えるよ。
オッケー。自分の意志、感情、姿や形を決して喪失してはダメよ。ここは海なんだからね。意味を喪失すれば永遠の深淵に落ちて海の藻屑よ。気をつけなさい。
Isn't this, I don't get what Lambda Delta's saying, but I should stay calm for the time being. It seemed that I regained my equilibrium the more I calmed down. Gradually, that weird floating feeling, like I was falling forever, began to disappear. It still felt strange, like trying to stand up straight at the bottom of a deep pool, but it was much better than before. This looks like to be
始めるわ。
this. I mean, it's different, but this looks like the Sea of Fragments actually.
碑
But I
文
don't
の
know.
謎を解くためのかけらを積
I
む。
mean, they are calling it the ocean, so okay, that's a different translation. Sea of Fragments is from Higurashi. Mercastal opened both of their hands. Then, like a planetarian, all the fragments throughout this empty space began to spin, leaving tails behind them. Yeah, definitely the Sea of Fragments. The expression planetarian might have been surprisingly fitting. Multiple fragments were tied together by golden lines, and looked like constellations zoomed us by rapidly, one after another. Felt almost as though we were dashing through space at an incredible speed. Then, with tails of light drifting behind them, several brightly glowing fragments swirled around Bern Castell. It almost looked like she created her own solar system, with her as the sun. That solar system surrounding Bern Castell grew to a radius large enough to swallow us up. And every once in a while, one of those satellite fragments zoomed right past me. Oh. Oh my god. Flashing memories, I guess. When those fragments passed by me, I felt as though some kind of memory welled up inside me, so I sensed it. These fragments are probably like crystallization of memories.
記憶じゃないわ。世界のかけらよ。まあ、あんたには記憶のように感じられるだろうけどね。
They're basically parallel universes, basically. I think that was explained.
まずはこのかけらから。
One of the satellites in this solar system was slowly sucked into an inward trajectory with Bern Castell at the center. After drawing a spiral and approaching her, it settled down on the palm of Bern Castell's outstretched hand. Then it glittered brightly, painting over the world with pure white. Behold the swift fish river running from bone the whole
懐かしき故郷は私たちの想像をきっと裏切らないわ。お父様が唯一懐かしむ過去は少年時代だけだもの。
覚えてるぜ。これは第3のゲームでエヴァおばさんが碑文の謎を解く直前にしていた自分の中の魔女とやらとの考察だ。
そうよ。そしてこの考察から彼女は正解を紡ぎ出した。つまり正解へ至る重要なヒントを示すかけらということ。つまりこの推理は間違っていないということなのよ。
つまり懐かしき故郷とやらば何かの比喩でも何でもなく、そのままじい様が少年時代を過ごした故郷と読み取っていいということなのか。
そういうこと。そして少なくともそれは小田原ではないわ。
Sweet home of old.
生まれは確かに小田原だけど、お父様が懐かしむ故郷は多分小田原のことじゃないわ。それについては多分兄弟たちは全員同じ場所で認識してるわね。
そうね、多分小田原じゃないわね。聞いた話ではとても楽しい少年時代だったそうよ。
そうだ。エヴァおばさんたち兄弟は小田原であることを否定していた。いや、それどころかみんなはじい様の故郷がどこか察しているようだった。
そう。そして意地悪なことにそれがどこなのかはどのかけらでも語っていない。
そりゃそうでしょう。それを教えてあげちゃったらヒントが過ぎちゃうよ。難易度の高い謎でなきゃ意味がないんだから。あらいけない。これもヒントになっちゃうわね。
一体じい様の故郷というのはどこだったんだ。それがわからなくちゃ始まらない。
始まらないから思考を停止したわけ。住み得た場所である以上 それは有限の範囲内だわ。まあここが一番辛いところなんだけれど。
お前は確か解ける謎である限り絶対に解ける魔女だった。
Certainly solved.
つまりお前はその有限の範囲内、つまり地球上の全てからじいさまの住んでそうな土地を全て想定して考えたのか。
Oh man, that's
そうしてもいい
insane.
けれど、それじゃあ時間がいくらあっても足りないわ。だからさらにヒントを加味して答えを絞る必要があった。自分で言ったじゃない。水の流れる川かどうかわからないって。あゆという言葉がそんなにもややこしいなら忘れてしまえば。川で考えるの。川で。家系図という連想は悪くないわ。その要領で川から連想するものを他にも考えてみて。
Family tree.
故郷を貫くアユの川。しかしその川は本当の意味での川ではない。エヴァは川から連想できる他のものを考えたわ。
Weren't they speaking about sea instead?
そうだな。
A
しかし
sea.
川じゃないならアユって何なんだ。
考えなさい。故郷を貫く川。でも水の流れる川じゃないわ。川のようにも例えられるもの。懐かしき故郷を貫くアユの川。エヴァは故郷がどこか分かってたからアユというヒントを切り捨てて考えたけど、故郷を知らない私たちにはヒントになりうるかもしれない。
Sweet fish.
アユの皮に悩みすぎたわ。アユなんて大した意味ないじゃない。
そんなことないわよ。立派なヒントだったじゃない。まあ確かにアユである必要はなかったかもね。
A hint.
アユって何なんだ。川が言葉通りの川でない以上、アユだってもちろん泳ぐ魚を意味したりはしないはずだ。
そうね。その上ローザに至ってはアユに大した意味はないとまで言い捨ててるわ。
その一方でエヴァはアユである必要はないが立派なヒントだったとも言っている。つまりアユは何かを想起させる鍵だということ。その何かが他の単語であっても想起できるなら、エヴァの言うアユである必要はないがという言葉につながってくる。
From these thoughts, Aunt Ava formed some theory, went to the library, looked through some books, and verified that she was right. In short, Aunt Ava formed some theory about the true nature of this sweet fish river running through a hometown. Then she opened a certain book to determine whether that theory was correct or not. In other words, this theory was something that could be verified through some kind of book. Also, after she figured out what the Swiftfish River was, she figured out the rest of the riddle very quickly.
良い思考よ。気分は川を下ればやがて里ありと続く。エヴァはその時点ではそこから始まる産業の謎を解けてはいなかった。
里って何？里ってどういう意味？この川を下ると里なんてあるの
？Right before my eyes, the pieces that I hadn't been able to understand at all began to snap into place all by themselves. I couldn't even remember to close my open mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really okay for this to be the answer? Really? Really?
つまり故郷を貫くアユの川が分かれば自動的に川を下れば里あり云々が分かって黄金鏡の鍵が手に入るってわけだ。
そういうことよ。エヴァもその書物を読んで確かめるまでは川を下った里のことは分からなかったみたいだし。
くそ、その書物って何なんだ。
でもこれは全然6文字じゃないわ。これが答えに間違いないって断言できるけど、これは全然6文字に満たない。
また思考停止ならそれを6文字で読める方法を考えなさい。思いつかないなら調べなさい。きっと答えはある。それを疑ってはダメ。それが信じられないならとっとと泣き寝入りでもしてへそでもかんで死んじゃえば。
1、2、6文字。見つけた。これが黄金鏡への鍵。
そしてエヴァは黄金鏡への鍵を見つけたわ。
ああ、そしてその鍵というのは6文字の何か。言葉か数字か文字列なんだ。
I think it was the location.
そういうこと。鍵の正体が6つの文字だと分かれば第一の番の意味がだいぶ分かってくる。
第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよう。
6 characters chosen. 6 characters.
鍵の選びし6人。
Oh my god.
6文字。
In other words, it means to sacrifice the 6 characters chosen by the key on the first twilight.
この鍵がある特定の6人を指し示す。いいえ、ある特定の6つを指し示すというべきね。もしこれが文字通りに生贄を捧げろという意味でないならば、例えばアナグラムかもしれないわ。
アナグラム？文字遊びのことかな。
I'm trying to think here. I think I'm close actually. Yes, Kiryu-san had been thinking that way ever since that moment.
第2の番に残されし者はとある。ということは少なくともその何かは有限の文字数なのよ。そこから6文字を抜いて残った文字で話を進めろと読み解けるわ。
Oh my god.
つまり第一の番に6文字以上の文字列から鍵である6文字を殺し残った文字でどうにかしろという意味なんだ。
そういうこと。
Oh my
ただ
god.
当時の切り絵も言ってる。ならば何から6文字を殺せばいいのか、その殺す大元の文字列がわからない。
The first twilight killed the 6 characters that are the key on the first twilight.
つまり第一の番という時点でもう何かの文字列が存在するということなのか。
Oh my god. In the chapel there's the words on the plaque, isn't it?
しかし第一の番じゃ4文字しかない。他の読み方か。じいさま風に英語で読むなら第一の番ってなんだ。ファーストナイトか。
ぐっとバトラさんのその考えなかなかです。鍵の選びし6人の生贄を6文字の文字列と読み解く柔軟な発想だと思います。鍵が鍵の形状をしたものとは限りませんから。
アナグラムの可能性は私も考えてたの。
Oh my god, they're solving it.
そういや、以前そんなことを言ってたな。しかし、だとしたら、何から6文字を抜くんだ？
そうね。6文字も抜く以上、それ以上の文字数だわ。第1の番を6文字以上にどう読み解けばいいのかしら。
お父様のセンスならやっぱり英語なのかしら。
行き詰まるようなら先に第2の番に進みヒントを探してみましょう。残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。残されし者は6文字を抜いた後に残った文字だと考えてよいでしょう。
となると、寄り添う2文字とはどういう意味になるんだろうね。
そうか、わかったぜ。つまりはこういうことだ。
Two letters of the alphabet were close. Or, for example, let's take the following list of 9 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then let's say that 6 characters after as sacrifices are 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. In this case, we erase the affirmation 6 characters from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9 and get 2, 4, 5.
2と4と5が残るな。
And now you tear apart the 4 and 5.
それでどうなるってんだ？
You'll get 4, 2, 5.
あ、4と5寄り添ってる。
そうか、わかったで。つまり寄り添いし2人っちゅうんは
2, 4, 5.
そうさ、2と4は間が空いているが、4と5は隣り合っている。寄り添いし2人だ。
グッとお見事です、バトラさん。引き裂くという意味が4と5も潰せという意味なのか、
So only 2 remains.
4と5の間を開けと言っているのかは分かりかねますが、
Oh, yeah.
その着眼は良いと思います。
なら、第3の番の残されし者は誉れ高き我が名を称えよってのは何だと思う？
文字遊びである可能性が高い以上、それもまた言葉遊びの可能性があります。残された文字は誉れ高き我が名を称えよ。
難しいね。どういう意味だろう。
どなたかわかる方は？私は多分わかっちゃいました。
Oh my god.
何教えなさいよ。
これもアナグラム。
またしてもグッと、
Oh
バト
man.
ラさんはなかなか発想が柔軟です。
アナグラムって文字遊びって意味だよね。ということは、
つまり残った文字を入れ替えると何かの単語ができるという意味じゃないかしら。
だな。とすると、ちょいと勇み足な仮説だが、俺は第一の番に間引く大元の文字数は11文字じゃないかと想定する。
またしてもお見事。
Oh my
私
god.
も同じ見解でした。
どうしてよ。どうして11文字なんて言えるんや。
生贄を一人殺すというのは文字を一文字潰すことを意味すると思われます。第2の番の引き裂けをとりあえず2文字の間を開けという意味で解釈した場合なら11文字。この引き裂けが2文字を潰せという意味なら13文字になると想定されます。なぜならその後の第4の番から第8の番にかけて5回殺せという記述が出るからで
11
す。
characters from the... Oh my... No, 13 characters from the first Twilight.
そしてその次の第9の番で誰も生き残れないと書かれています。
魔女が蘇るって部分をとりあえず無視するなら、これは第一の番に6文字潰し、寄り添った文字を割いて、さらに5文字潰したらぴったり文字がなくなるという意味ではないかと考えたんだ。
So that makes 6 plus 5 or 11 characters. If tearing apart the two who are close in the second Twilight means to kill both of them, that means 6 plus 2 plus 5 or 13 characters you should pull from the first Twilight. There's a chance the word symbolizing the first Twilight has 11 or 13 characters. Wait, it couldn't be that easy, could it? Oh my
実にお見
god.
事です。私とま
I
さに
want to
同
pause
じ
the
推
video
理。
and make my own theory, but oh my god, I
バ
need
トラ
to.
さんもどうやら私と同じ 灰色の脳細胞に恵まれているようですね。
I need to follow this path of logic, actually.
よせやい。適当だぜ、適当。
I'll do it later on.
おいおい、なんだよこれ。駒の俺は随分と頭が切れるじゃねえか。
Oh my god, the music.
おかげで俺の推理する出番がねえぜ。
Oh my god. Peace Battler.
ああ、ごめんなさい。バトラはこの時不在だったから、
Oh my god.
私の方で勝手に駒を操らせてもらったわ。切れ者っぽくていいでしょ。
Oh my god.
あんたはベルにプレイヤーをしてもらった方が賢そうに見えるわ。
So basically, Battler is Watson now.
プレイヤーは降りて駒に専念した方がよくない？
Basically, Battler is the helper to Erika now. I joined on this game partway through, well after the first murders occurred on October 5th. That means the piece called me was controlled by the player, Bern Castell. So I guess that means it's possible for Bern Castell's reasoning to be announced through my mouth. The game I'm watching now is nothing more than a replay of a part that's already ended. Oh, that's true. However, that's probably good enough for now. After all, this Bern Castell-sama is going out of her way to solve the epitaph for me. I'll watch closely for now, and I'll try to find out what it means. Lambda Delta let it sleep herself just a second ago. Let it sleep herself. Oh.
そりゃそうでしょう。
Oh my god, the
それを
effects.
教えてあげちゃったらヒントが過ぎちゃうわ。難易度の高い謎でなきゃ意味がないんだから。あらいけない。これもヒントになっちゃうわね。
This theory about grandfather creating the epitaph in order to choose a successor isn't bad at all. Erika and Bern Castell's logic is extremely reasonable. That's only if we assume grandfather was the one to create it. He was probably alive at the time the epitaph was displayed in the darkness, but of course, grandfather is already dead by 1986. And in the games up until now, Beatrice threatened us repeatedly with letters, saying that the only way to survive was to solve the epitaph, and trying to force us to solve the riddle. In other words, it was Beatrice's intention, her hope, that we would try solving the riddle of the epitaph. That the epitaph's so confusing that in most cases, the relatives never seriously tried solving it until the threatening letters started to arrive. That's why Beatrice fired the starting pistol that made us take a go at it. Why is Beatrice carrying out grandfather's will after his death? Like the theory proposed in the first game, is Beatrice really grandfather's confidant? Who was following his orders even after his death and trying to select the successor with the riddle of the epitaph in grandfather's stead? If she did that, it would mean Beatrice really was Kinzo's trusted underling, the family alchemist she claimed to be in that letter. Why find the gold? After grandfather's death, Beatrice managed the 10 tons of gold and took the title of alchemist. She was entrusted with the epitaph's riddle. Without even ever embezzling the gold, she awaited for a human fitting to be successor to appear and solve it. And if that human didn't appear with a set time limit, would that game be over? Would that be game over? Certainly, Eva, who solved the riddle in the third game, became the only survivor and automatically the final head of the USHIROMIYA family, inheriting everything. Up until now, no one had ever survived past October 5th except Aunt Eva, the one who solved the epitaph. That was the only case where Beatrice let anyone survive. Is Beatrice's loyalty to grandfather that thing that drove her? Was she so loyal that she faithfully carried out some terrible order to kill everyone if the epitaph wasn't solved? I must not stop thinking. Don't stop thinking. Don't just think of the riddle itself. Think about why it's significant. Why is Beatrice telling us to solve the epitaph? Why is she making us solve such a confusing epitaph? If Beatrice makes us If Beatrice makes us try and solve this epitaph, we have no real chance of solving, and by some lucky chance a miracle occurs and someone is able to solve it. What significance would that have to her? I don't know what such a miracle would be worth to Beato. This is confusing actually.
いずれにせよ、第一の番がわからねえ限り、これ以上はお手上げだな。
That there's a Shannon and Kinzo connection that I'm not grasping it yet. Why would Shannon want someone to solve it? She was going to kill everyone. I guess she wants Ballard to solve it and survive. We tried looking at it from several angles, but in the end, we got stuck there and made no further advances. Maria let out an extra large yawn. This caused several other people to yawn. We've been using our heads so much that everyone had gotten a little sleepy. Jessica, who'd been silent and irritated the whole time, quickly stood up.
私はマリアと一緒に上へ行ってるぜ。テレビでも見てる。
Jessica is mad.
そうだね。僕も上がるよ。そうだ。みんなで上でトランプでもしようか。
George proposed this. Maria completely forgot about that big yawn of hers and started jumping around, insisting that she wanted to play cards. According to the clock, it was already 10 at night. It was already about the time you normally take a bath and get ready for sleep. Even the adults seemed pretty weary from traveling. We decided to continue this later and went on our separate ways.
エリカちゃんも一緒にどう？トランプ。
No, she's gonna find the gold now, I think.
お気持ちだけで結構です。客人の分もわきまえず、ちょっと仕切りすぎました。今夜はおとなしく休もうと思います。自分が遭難者であることをすっかり忘れていましたから。
She's saying this, but she's gonna go sneak out, I think.
まったくだぜ。とても溺れてたとは思えない元気さだ。
若さね。でも楽しかったわ。あなたのおかげで推理が一層進んだ気がする。もし私が黄金を見つけたら100万円くらい分けてあげるわ。
せめて気前よく1億ぐらいドーンとは言えんのか。
Yeah, a million yen is not much.
結構です。
For a word for 20 billion? No, it's not.
私に興味があるのは謎解きだけですので。それではこれで失礼します。おやすみなさい。
I think 100 million yen is actually $1 million, so that's a fine reward, I think. But no, she's gonna...
おやすみ。
Oh my god.
あら、バトラ君は上に行かないの？
俺はちょっと面白くなっちまったんで、もう少しここで考えをまとめてみます。第一の番を示す文字列さえ分かれば、きっと一気に道は開けると思うんすけどね。
Everyone went up to the second floor, one by one. Only Aunt Rosa remained behind, cleaning up the coffee cups everyone had been drinking out of. Kiryu-san and some others had offered to help, but Rosa had refused and was washing them all alone. Since I'd been just treated to such delicious coffee, I decided to help too. I wasn't just doing it because I felt obligated. I wanted to keep discussing the epitaph with someone.
第一の番、第一の番。ローザおばさんはなんか思いつく文字列とか言葉あるっすか？
Oh man.
さあ、私には全然。でも第一の番じゃなくて第10の番はちょっと気になったかしら。
10th Twilight.
第10の番？何ですか？
The journey ends and you shall reach the journey of
黄
gold.
金鏡って単語何度も出てくるでしょ？
出てきますね。
なぜか第10の番だけ旅は終わり黄金の今日、いえ里ね。黄金の里へ至るだろうって書かれているの。
どうしてここだけ黄金の里と書かれているのか気になってね。
Oh.
本当だ。
Wait. Wait. Where's the oh my god, the Epitaph isn't here. I'm sorry.
確かに。他はみんな黄金鏡って書かれてるのに。
That line should have been a key part of the riddle, or you wouldn't expect the writer to waste words needlessly. It had been done for some special purpose.
しかしバトラ君とあのエリカちゃんって子はすごいわね。発想が本当に柔らかい。私なんかはもうおばさんだから頭が全然回転しないのよ。今日の鍵の選び師6人は6文字を間引けという意味だという推理は見事だったわ。そう聞かされちゃったらもうそうにしか思えないけれど、それまでは全然そうだと思わなかったものね。自分の頭の硬さが嫌になるわ。
そんなことないっすよ。ローズおばさんだって頭十分柔らかいっすよ。その黄金の里って発見は何かの鍵になるかもしれないじゃないっすか。
とんでもない。カチカチよ。私なんてついこの間までは第一の番というのは黄金鏡までの道中の10分の1の場所だとか思ってたんだから。
なんすかそれ。面白そうだから聞かせてくれませんか。
だって第一の番の前の行に黄金鏡へ旅立つべしって書いてあるでしょ。そして10日をかけて旅をするわけだから、これはその旅の途中のお話なんだろうと思ったの。
旅、確かに。
それで旅を始めて最初の一晩目のキャンプで6人を生贄に捧げて。ならその場所ってどこだろう。スタート地点から何キロ目なんてね。内緒よ。おばさんバカだから黄金の里のことずっと黄金の京って読んじゃってて。ほら京って言うと京都みたいでしょ。だからお父様の故郷から京都までの旅路の最初の10分の1の地点に何か秘密が隠されてるんじゃないかって思って。
いやめちゃくちゃ斬新っすよ。10日をかけての旅の最初の1番目の場所、そこの地名が鍵か。
それを知るにはスタート地点とゴール地点がわからないとね。スタート地点は分かってるの。お父様が懐かしむ故郷は分かってる。お父様は少年時代をとても遠方で過ごされたのよね。
Really far away.
でも問題はゴールの黄金鏡。
Oh my god, speak. Where did he live? Oh my god, I need to know.
一体どこのことなのかしら。それが分からなきゃ私の説もさっぱり。長いことここで行き詰まってたんだけど、今日のバトラ君たちの推理を聞いてて、やっぱり私の恥ずかしい勘違いだったんだわって思い知ったわ。
いやそれはそれできっと面白い発想だと思います。スタートとゴール10日間の旅、その最初の一晩目の到達点。
案外バトラ君ならポロッと解けちゃったりしてね。もしおばさんのヒントで解けたなら1割の半分でもいいから分けっこしてね。
Oh man.
約束よ。
Oh, it's a promise. Despite being my aunt, she gave me a smile and a wink, which would have made a man's heart jump. As I helped her wash the coffee cups, I kept pondering the Epitaph's riddle in silence. Yeah. Oh man, Rosa. I think she's... Oh man. After I finished helping Aunt Rosa, I passed through the corridor on my way to the bathroom and saw Erika unlocking the door to a room on my path. Oh.
あんたの部屋は2階じゃなかったか？てっきり上に上がってもう部屋で休んでるのかと思ってたぜ。
ちょっと探し物をしてまして、ここにならあるのではないかと思いまして。
探し物？
Erika unlocked the door and opened it. A dusty smell drifted out. Ooh, it was the library beckoning. For a library, the gaps between bookshelves were extremely small. This was obviously built for storing books, not reading them.
探し物ってのは 本なのか？
本と言いますか、まあ資料です。どうしてもしたい調べ物がありまして。
碑文の謎に関する探し物か？まだ諦めてなかったとは殊勝なこったな。200億の黄金は魅力か？
I hadn't given up either. Apparently being stubborn is something we both share.
まさか。
Oh man, their interactions.
私にとって興味があるのは謎解きだけ。
I'm only interested in solving
黄金を
puzzles.
求めるのは推理が正しかったことの証明が欲しいからだけです。仮に見つけても猫パマなんてしませんのでご安心を。
She immediately cast my comments aside, saying that she liked solving riddles and had no interest at all in the gold. I thought she was pretty weird from the start, and it looks like that impression was spot on. Erika slowly circled the bookshelves, searching for the book she was after.
碑文の謎解きなら俺もまだ挑戦中だぜ。ああ、そうそう。さっきローザおばさんに第一の番のヒントになるかもしれない面白い話を聞いたぜ。
伺います。
Erika asked this without stopping her search, or even turning to face me.
第一の番にの前の行に鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いうんぬんってのがあったろ。
鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて黄金郷へ旅立つべし。
ふう、もう暗記したのかよ。さすがだな。
それがどうかしたんですか？
黄金郷へ旅立つべしだろ。ローザおばさんは第10の番、すなわち10日をかけて懐かしき故郷から黄金郷へ向けて旅に出るということを連想したらしい。
実はそれは私も気づいてました。10日かかる旅路の1日目にたどり着く場所、そこから生贄を捧げる。
ああ、ローザおばさんもまさに
Oh my
そ
god,
れを
she's
想像した。
so... Erika is so unnerving. Oh my god.
面白い推理だと俺も思う。10日の旅の初日にたどり着く場所、その土地、もしくは地名が鍵になるんじゃねえかってな。
地名が鍵になるのではないかという推測は私もしています。だから資料が見たいんです。推測を確信に変えるために。
Ooh, certainty.
あんた、探し物は何なんだ？
Then Erika's hand suddenly stopped, and she slowly pulled it out. As she dusted it off, she finally looked at me and spoke.
地図帳です。
Ooh. I have Google Maps here. I have Google Maps. Wait. Oh, Notion. Place where he spent his youth. Sweetfish River.
なんとか1日目をしのぎましたね。
Natsuhi could be seen in the study, and she muttered as though to herself. Gold butterflies appeared and formed the shape of a person. Hmm.
楽観はできんぞ。このままぼんやりと過ごし、明日をしのげるとは思えぬ。やはりお父様が不機嫌で出てこないというだけではごまかしきれませんか。去年の時点で相当の不信を持たれていたようだ。それにより膨れ上がった毒素は今やとぐろを巻くかのようにこの書斎を取り囲み締め上げている。
去年から疑われていただけではないでしょうな。
そうですね。それだけでは説明がつかないくらいに毒素は濃密に練り上げられています。おそらく金蔵様の死を去年の時点から疑い、今年の会議にて暴こうという強い意志があったに違いありません。
It's Rose, Ava, I think.
去年の時点か
Ava
ら
and Hideyoshi.
騙しきれていなかったということですか。
残念ながらそうお考えになる方が今はよろしいかと。明日も台風はとどまり、迎えの船は明後日になります。つまりあと最低でも36時間を持ちこたえねばならないということです。
夏日の目には見えぬであろうが、この部屋を閉ざす密室結界は極めて強固なものだった。それが今夜だけでボロボロに擦り切れ、嵐を待つ枯葉のようなありさまだ。
いいえ、まさに嵐の真っ只中にありますよ。夏日様、私は密室結界を別のものに変えることを提案いたします。
別のものというのはどういう意味ですか。つまり作戦を変えるという意味ですか。
さようでございます。私とワルギリア様で去年のものに近い結界を再構築します。
つまり去年のように金蔵を極力書斎の外に出し、毒素の影から影へと綱渡りをさせるということだ。危険ではあるが、わらわもそれを提案したい。
何ですって。今さら作戦を変えるというのですか。
籠城では切り抜けられぬと分かった以上、城を捨てることも考えねばなりません。
この書斎はもはや敵兵に囲まれ城壁さえも破られかけた城に同じ。座世は死を意味するならば、玉砕を求めて最後の出陣をするのも手でしょうな。降伏できぬ戦いでしょうから。
お父様の秘密は最後の最後まで絶対に死守します。それを蹴取られれば言い繕う余地など何もない。主人の横領は白日の下にさらされ、後宮家の名誉は失墜します。断固としてそれだけは防がねばなりません。
落ち着け。分かっておるわ。クラウスの錬金術はじきに大勢を迎える。今年を乗り切れば何とかなるのだ。だからうろたえるでない。
しかし去年と同じ手では無理だとして取った作戦がこの籠城なのですよ。一度は無理と切り捨てた作戦を再び選ぶのは愚の骨頂ではありませんか。一体今さらどういう筋書きを作るというのですか。
それは私とロの上で用意します。お任せを。幻想を生み出すのは魔女たちの役目。夏日様はそのご許可をくださるだけで結構でございます。
お師匠様もロの上もこういう時は実に頼れるぞ。片翼のわしの使用人どもも家具としては優秀だ。お師匠様たちが魔法を再構築すればそれを守るために働くだろう。今からでも決して遅くはない。金蔵を書斎から出し、その幻想を歩き回らせよ
う。その作戦を長く検討し、それでも有効なものが見出せなかったから籠城を選んだことを忘れましたか。急場にうろたえ軽々しく当初の作戦を投げ出すなど愚かしいことです。
しかし夏日様、籠城ではもはやしのぎきれぬことは毒素の真っ只中でそれを感じ取っておられた夏日様が一番ご存知のはずです。
私は籠城の方針は変えずに何とか他の作戦を考えられないかと提案します。
Listen to Virgilia, man.
とにかくこの部屋を密室に保ちさえすれば誰もお父様の存在を否定はできないのです。開けることのできぬ猫箱の中身を断定することなど何人にもできないのですから。
確かにそうではあるが、人間どもは不条理であるぞ。密閉した猫箱とてケーキの箱に群がるクロアリのように箱を食い破って中に入ることもあり得る。ベルンカステル教の駒も気になるしな。
エリカ様が晩餐の話題をさらってくださったのは幸いでした。おかげで今夜の親族会議をお開きにできる雰囲気を生み出してくれたのですから。普段のように即座に親族会議となっていたら今夜にも結界は破られていたかもしれません。
しかしそのせいでより濃密に毒素は練り上げられました。明日まで練り上げられた毒素は密室結界をたやすく侵すでしょう。籠城を続けるにせよどちらにせよ新しい作戦と結界を用意しなくては明日は乗り越えられません。
密室結界を破るための 何かの策があるのかもしれぬな。あのエリカというこまめ、侮れぬぞ。
それを言えば例の19年前の復讐とかいう謎の男もベルンカステル教の駒かもしれません。18の駒で均衡が取れていた盤面に望まぬ駒が2つも追加された。イレギュラーが多すぎます、今年は。
ベルンカステル教は東洋趣味が終わりだったな。日本のチェス、将棋ではゲーム中に駒を追加することもできるというではないか。
ええ、可能ですよ。敵のキングの目の前に駒置き場より取り出したクイーンを置くことさえ将棋では許された切り札たる一手です。19年前を語る男はどうしているのでしょう。
He is already here, walking through the walls of the guest house, speaking with a little detective, waiting and waiting.
この島のどこかにすでに潜んでいるというのでしょうか。あのエリカという少女が漂着と称して現れることができたのです。あの男もこの台風にもかかわらず島のどこかに上陸し息を潜めているのかもしれない。そして親族たちをもはや騙し切ることは難しく、どうしてこうもイレギュラーが重なるのですか。この悪夢と偶然の奇跡をどう説明すればいいというのですか。
You can explain it with a little witch called Burkastel. Natsuhi slammed the desk hard, held her head, and cringed at the pain from her overwhelming headache.
ベルンカステル教は奇跡を司る。あの御人の前にイレギュラーと奇跡は驚くにも値せぬぞ。
将棋は確かにキングの真正面に敵の駒が突如現れることを認めたゲームです。ですがだからこそそこに隙間を作らぬ完璧な陣形を作りキングを守る芸術的な城を構築します。
ならばやはり籠城は正しいではありませんか。
こもりきれる籠城ならばいざ知れず、今はそれを期待できる段階にありません。
壁を背負わぬキングを詰めるのは難しく、四方を分けたキングを詰めるのはさらに困難だろう。ネズミで考えよ。カゴに閉じ込めたネズミをつかむことはできよう。しかし野に逃げ出したネズミをつかむことなど雲をつかむに等しい話よ。
夏日様、どうか検討することのご許可を。金蔵様が書斎をお出になり気まぐれに屋敷内をかっ歩しながら親族の方々の目を逃れる、それが自然である筋書きを明朝までに考えます。
Just say he went to Quadrillion because he doesn't want to see the family conference.
危険だわ。それくらいならお父様がこの部屋で機嫌を損ねられていることを演じ続けた方が。明日にも親族の方々はこの書斎の前に詰めかけるでしょう。そこの扉一枚向こう側に詰めかけるのです。そこで夏日様は金蔵様と怒鳴り合いをしているかのようなふりを一体何時間続けられるというのですか。不可能です。その不可能をなんとか36時間逃げ切らねばならないのです。
Natsuhi, listen to Virgilia.
やれと言うならやります。私は後宮夏日、後宮家当主の妻です。
Don't mistake pride for foolishness.
それをやれと言うなら私は何日でもここでお父様と怒鳴り合いをしているところを演じましょう。
Even Natsuhi realized that she could never manage it, but she no longer saw any chance of victory from a plan that involved an illusion of Kinzo walking around. Banging on the desk several times with tears of rage streaming down her face, Natsuhi alternated between groaning from her headache and placing the blame on one thing or another. It all made one feel that there must be some curse that made anyone who sat in that chair act that way.
これは奥様が逃げる詰め将棋ですな。詰め将棋ですから相手のキングはない。決められた手数を逃げ切る以外に奥様に勝つ手はないのです。
その手数か。 あと1日半もあるなんて多すぎます。
考えることをやめるでない。降参するでない。愚痴はわらわが聞こうぞ。だから音を上げるでないぞ。そなたの絶対にこの苦難を乗り越えようという絶対の意志が絶対の結果を紡ぎ出す。
Success with certainty. Oh my god, this is Lambda Delta's game.
それこそが絶対の魔女の力。その魔力を失ってはならぬ。必ず乗り越えられると信じよ。きっと妙案は浮かぶ。だからそれを考えることを投げ出してはならぬ。
そうですね、分かっています。私が乗り越えねば他の誰にも乗り越えられぬ困難なのです。
I love that the witches have their names actually play out in part in their powers and in the story as well. So
そうとも。
in many anime, people are called titles, whatever, but they don't actually play a part on their actual powers or their actual role in the story. So seeing them both having a play here is quite entertaining, actually.
それを乗り越えてみ
Certainty
せ
and
ようと
miracles.
そなたは金蔵に託されたのではないか。金蔵はそなたなら託せると認めたのだ。
お父様、お父様。
And I guess that there's also like a hypocrisy, I guess. A hypocrisy within their powers as well, because Beato is called the Endless Witch, but she gave up after 4 games of Battler, so she isn't that endless. Then you have Bern who has the power of miracles, but actually doesn't believe in miracles from her description. So I guess Lambda Delta has the power of certainty, but actually is an uncertain little girl, maybe? I don't know.
お師匠様とロノウェが手は考える。もちろんわらわも考える。だが主であるそなたの許可なくばそれも許されぬ。だからせめてそなたは戦う意志を捨てるな。諦めるな。
分かってます。分かってます。でももう疲れ切ってしまって、頭痛が耐えられなくて、どうして私はこんなにも冷え切った書斎でたった一人で泣いているの。
Where's Krauss?
どうしてどうして主人は今ここにいてくれないの。
Oh man. Back when dinner ended, Krauss claimed to be dizzy and went to bed early. Of course, he had done this to get enough rest to ready himself for the long day ahead. But to Natsuhi right now, it felt as though he was just grown straight asleep and pushed the entire burden on her. However, complaining about such a thing would mean her failure as a wife. Isn't a good wife's duty to work hard and put family first, even when her husband is resting? Filled with regret, even at her anger towards her husband, unable to determine at whom she should be angry, Natsuhi continued to sob. If only Kinzo could just speak to her kindly at a time like this. Beato searched for him, but Kinzo had been nowhere to be seen for the study for some time now. Perhaps Natsuhi had noticed this as well, though she bragged that fighting alone and supporting from behind was the responsibility of a good wife, without anyone to tell her that this really was necessary. She was now so frail that she couldn't even stop her own tears. Just as Beato was trying to think of words to console Natsuhi, Virgilia tapped her lightly on the shoulder. Sometimes when words of consolation don't come from the mouth of the right person, they can do more harm than good. So Virgilia silently told Beato that remaining silent was the best course of action for now.
お取り込み中にごめんなさい。部外者だけど発言いいかしら。ガープ、今は慎みなさい。
いえ、この場にいる限り 部外者も客人もありません。発言を許します。
ありがとう。さっきロノウェアは言ったわ。これは夏日が逃げる詰将棋だとね。詰将棋はどうして負けるの？キングがチェックメイトされるからでしょ。
言われるまでもないわ。そして敵にはキングがない。だから夏日は自分のキングを逃がし続けるしかない。
なるほど、その手ですか。もうその時が来ましたか。
どういうことです？何か手があるというのですか？
夏日はゴールドスミスの死を隠す一番最初に提案してるわ。それを使う時が来たということよ。
失踪ですか？その一手を親族会議の今指すというのですか？
Oh, the lip sync.
危険すぎます。
Once they successfully resolved all their problems, they would have to lay Kinzo to rest. And the best way to do that was make him disappear. So no king to be captured. One day, Kinzo would go out into the forest and never return. They wouldn't be able to find him no matter how much they searched, so he would be declared missing.
さっきリーチェも言ったわ。野に逃れたネズミを捕まえることはできない。
Yeah, if they try to do this now, it's going to work. I mean, I guess, I
そして
think.
森に消えたゴールドスミスを捕らえることもね。
And we'll give
そ
them
れで言い
what?
逃れられると？この最も疑われた今にその一手を指すなど、まさに自殺にも等しい一手です。
疑われるでしょう。まさに疑惑と呼ばれるに等しい一手でしょう。しかしこの書斎に彼らが踏み込もうともぬけの殻。金蔵様を捕らえることは永遠に不可能で、その死はこれほどまでに疑わしいにもかかわらず立証することができない。
36時間どころか永遠に金蔵の秘密を守ることができるんじゃない？もちろんそれにふさわしいリスクを背負うことになるけれど。
その一手を指せば確かにこの場を乗り切ることはできようが、失う名誉も計り知れぬぞ。
それでも確実にこの場を乗り切れる一手よ。もちろん疑惑を大きく背負うわ。でも死なない。
確かにそれはそうですが、
関東大震災で後宮家は本当だったら滅んでいるはずだったのよ。それを狂気の天才ゴールドスミスが再建して、あなたが守りたくなるくらいに立派に再建してみせたわ。なら今度はそれをあなたたち新しき当主夫妻がやってみせるべきなのよ。
ほう、そういう煽り方をなさいますか。
煽りじゃないわ。当主夫人としての覚悟を私は聞いているだけよ。泥をすすってでも後宮家を守る覚悟があなたにはあるんでしょ？
Oh my god. Is this... Oh, is this setting up USHIROMIYA Natsuhi as the culprit? Oh my
今
god.
がその時よ。泥をすすって生き延びられるならいくらでも飲み干しなさ
The
い。
USHIROMIYA family was supposed to die, but one survived. Oh my god.
あなたは苦害を這いずって生き延び、やがては必ず栄光を取り戻す。この序列第33位のガープがそれを約束してあげるわ。
ガープ。
私がこのタイミングでここへ遊びに来たのはきっとそれを望む偶然の神々のお導きでしょうよ。守ってあげる。USHIROMIYA Natsuhi。対価は不要よ。あんたに仕えてるリーチェからすでにたっぷり前払いされてるわ。
Garp may have seemed irresponsible. She actually possessed a strong sense of duty. She was the kind of person who couldn't just leave someone in trouble alone.
前払い？はて、わらわがいつ？記憶にないぞ。
あなたがどこにしまったか思い出せないマジックアイテムの数々。随分とちょろまかせてもらってるもの。
見つからないのはやはりそなたの仕業だったか。返せ。
Oh my god.
幻の金髄賞とムーンステッキ返せ。まだくっつけて遊んでないのに。
私から授けられる魔法と作戦はそんなところよ。ゴールドスミスを誰にも見つけられない世界へ私は隠すことができる。この魔法が必要になったらいつでも言って。その直前まで夏日は他のもっと無難な作戦を思案すればいい。
確かに選択肢を残すことは心のゆとりを残すこと。心にゆとりなくして妙案も生まれぬものです。
夏日様、夜は短くありません。ガープの手は最後の切り札とし、今は策を練りましょう。そのご許可をどうか。そして必ず成し遂げられるという信頼と魔力と絶対の信念を我らにお与えください。
Absolute conviction。
あんたが信じれば私がそれを叶えるわ。あんたが疑えばそれも私が叶える。未来をあなたが作りなさい。
Kinzo would disappear, and right in the middle of this family conference, such a move truly would be a last resort. Burying this final trumped card in her heart, Natsuhi decided that she would grope around for a different plan until the last second. After all, this long, long night had only just begun. And it was long not only for her castle and her peace, but just as long to prepare as Natsuhi did. Ooh. Oh my god, he's outside.
なるほど。やはりえぐるとはそういう意味だったんですね。
So it was a mechanism. I heard it.
またしても私の推理は正解でした。
The feel of it this time was clearly different from previous times, as the SUCCESSOR device had activated. However, as far as a quick glance could tell, there was no dramatic change, such as an entrance or some sort of opening. Apparently, they would need to do just a little more before they could find it.
すげえよ。これで本当に黄金が見つかったら俺とお前で山分けだな。
知的興奮を楽しめただけで十分です。
Oh my god, is Battler going to find the gold?
私が好きなのは謎解きだけ。
Oh my god.
報酬はそれが正しかったことの証明だけで十分です。
It's Peace Battler, right? So maybe it doesn't matter. She shrugged it off, implying that just seeing the gold would be just enough. Then she crouched down, peering fixedly at the lock mechanism. Ooh, it's definitely no mistake to say this girl really loves solving riddles. For her, treasure hunting is all about the delicious process of exposing secrets. So she has no interest whatsoever in getting the treasure for herself and becoming a billionaire.
なるほど。よくもこんな仕掛けを。
Oh my
あな
god.
たたちの不運は私をこの島に迎えたことでしたね。
Oh my god.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
Oh, is this her catchphrase?
いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
Oh man. The mistake you all made was letting me on this island in the first place. Oh my god, that's so ominous. As she said this, the now exposed contraption, she grinned. Her smile was triumphant, but it was more fully characterized by the small bit of unpleasant disdain contained within. After solving the riddle, she was probably reveling in the pleasure of having won against the one who had proposed it, and she enjoyed her ability to scoff at this person now.
これで黄金が見つかれば、次期当主はクラウスさんでなくあなたですね。
Oh man.
どうだろうな。
クラウスさんってちょっと傲慢な方じゃないですか。偉そうって言いますか。そのクラウスさんが一夜明けたらおいに黄金も次期当主の座もかっさらわれていたなんて。
Erika was still crouched down as she spoke, her back to Battler as she toyed around with the device.
ジェシカさんでしたっけ、私に意見した女の子。
Ooh.
あの子、自分の父親が次期当主だと威張ってましたね。
Oh,
彼女は
man.
今夜が明け、バトラさんが全ての黄金を受け継ぎ、自分の父親が もはや次期当主で亡くなったことを知ったらどんな表情を見せるんでしょうね。
Oh man.
別に俺は200億を独り占めする気は毛頭ねえぜ。ま、せいぜい1割ももらえりゃお腹いっぱいさ。あとは親族で仲良く分けりゃいい。次期当主なんてもっと興味がねえぜ。クラウスおじさんに喜んで押し付けさせてもらうぜ。
果たしてそう簡単な話で済むでしょうか。それを推理することよりは、今はジェシカさんが明日どんな表情をしながらどんな負け惜しみを口にするかの方が推理の対象としては楽しい気がします。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god.
性格悪いね。
Oh no, she has a wonderful personality. What are you saying?
おや、謎解きが好きという時点で推理できませんでした。
She really is a detective. Holy shit.
私、人が隠すことを暴くのが好きな知的蹂躙者なんですよ。気分の謎解きもそうです。
Oh god.
じい様が満を持して隠した黄金を暴いてやりたかったんだろ。
She really is a detective.
ええ、最初はそうでしたが、途中から目的が変わりました。
途中？何に？
ジェシカさんです。私の推理に口を挟み、高潔かつ高尚な時間を汚しました。だからあのジェシカという子に思い知らせたくて、気分の謎を解くことに目的を変えたんです。
Oh my god, I'm smiling so hard right now.
お前本気で言ってんのか？
Oh my god. Oh man.
私はどんな相手でも屈服させます。それが私の唯一の優越です。まだ推理必要ですか？
Nope.
後ろ宮ジェシカは
Oh my god, that
私をムカつかせた。
that face.
だから私は身の程を思い知らせてやりたくて気分を解くことにした。そこから導かれる今の私の感情。
That face.
推理可能ですか？
Glee. This time around, this time I turned my back on her in earnest. Did I get a bit too excited by this riddle-solving game, letting her drive me on and do something terrible? That's right. It should have been possible to reason this out. If the riddle is solved, the relatives will probably freak out about who the successor should be. Then some others will probably push for me, the discoverer, to be the successor. And some relatives not thrilled with that prospect will probably oppose them. Despite how adamantly Erika affirmed it, it isn't written anywhere that the one who solves the riddle, the Epitaph, becomes the successor. Because of this, it will lead to a fight between those who acknowledge that theory and those who don't. If I reason out what will happen next, as Erika did, it'll probably lead to a messy fight between Uncle Krauss and the rest of the relatives. 4 families divided by 25% to each one. Now that I've solved the riddle, will Jessica admire me or curse me? I don't want to think about that now. Oh, Erika was still mumbling. Apparently, she'd already started trying to reason it out. As I began to feel very bad, I vaguely gazed out into the black night. At that time, I looked at the dim outdoor light and saw the silhouette of a person in front of it. Is it Shannon? I thought I must be seeing things. After all, it was unthinkable that someone could be standing there the whole time, pounded up by the rain without even an umbrella. Oh my god. Oh, this is terrifying. Is she Shannon? Is it Shannon? Oh man. However, the silhouette didn't move an inch, and maybe, no, it couldn't be. It was looking at me. Oh my god. And it was. Oh. That angle. Oh my god. This is Kinzo. He's dead. Grandfather. Oh my god, Battler's seeing Kinzo. What the fuck? Grandfather. At the moment, I understood. Grandfather's probably been watching us solve the riddle this whole time. And he watched as we spectacularly solved the whole thing. Without a doubt, there was a faint smile on Grandfather's face. Oh my god! Grandfather had never worn anything except moody and threatening expressions, looked at me in the eye and smiled at me for the first time. Almost as though he was saying, how impotent, or else I never thought it would be you. However, this is still the result that Grandfather's Epitaph chose, so I'm sure he accepted that result. In the end, he grinned one more time. Of course, he didn't use words. His smile seemed to be wordlessly saying, well done. I don't know how I should respond. I couldn't do anything but stand there in shock, ignoring Erika as she crouched down, mumbling with her back towards me. Then, Grandfather stretched a hand out from the folds of his cloak and pointed at something. When I looked in that direction, there was... The thing he was pointing at was probably a signpost to the Golden Land. Go. I'm sure Grandfather said that one word. I nodded to show that I understood. Oh my god! After watching that, Grandfather nodded back, satisfied. Then with a spin of his cloak, he disappeared, seeming to melt into the darkness. The expression on his face at the end was a smile that was for the first time truly satisfied.
聞いてます？バトラさん、私の推理。
見つけたぜ。あれが黄金鏡への道しるべだ。
え？あ、さっきと向きが変わってる。
おお。
なるほど。あちらへ進めという意味ですか。良い観察力ですね。
じいさま、教えてもらった。
Oh man.
金蔵さん？どこに？
行くぜ。見せてもらおうじゃねえか。
Oh my
黄金鏡ってや
god.
つを。
Oh my god, this is so good. We started to walk. The entrance to the Golden Land was right there. Oh my god, this is so good.
我が碑文がついに解かれたか。そしてバトラーがか。愉快、この上なし。
When thinking about it, I was also ahead that no one saw coming. How amusing that the one who succeeded me is just as surprising.
これにて我が生涯に一切の未練はなし。ベアトリーチェ、そなたのもとへ行くぞ。我が碑文が選びし奇跡を手土産にな。
Battler of all people. That battler. Oh my god, this is so good. I'm getting shivers. I'm getting shivers here. Holy shit.
我が生涯の最後の最後に我は真の奇跡を見たり。ベアトリーチェ、この賭けは私の勝利だ。
Oh my god. Oh my god, I got shivers there. Oh, he's... Oh man. That's a really... And it wasn't Erika who solved the last piece, it was Battler instead. Oh my god, he found the gold. Oh shit.
耐食性以外には金に換金物としての利便性を見出すことはできませんね。これを現金化するには随分の手間をかけそうです。
At the end of the crude underground tunnel, in a VIP room so beautiful it seemed improper, was a pile of gold so large that there could be no doubting that it's 20 billion yen worth. Erika was calm, but Battler couldn't suppress his excitement. As for which of the two was correct reaction to show after seeing a mountain of gold, only those who saw the scene with their own eyes could say for sure. In this day and age, it is said that an average salaryman earns about 200 million yen in wages over his life, and this is 2 billion yen worth of gold. 2 million in dollars. So an average salary worker earns 2 million in his whole lifetime. With even 1/100th of this gold mountain, a single human could live their entire life without working. What is labor? Isn't the very point of a human's life, since a person who doesn't work cannot eat? If so, then 200 million yen is enough to make a single person's life complete. This is 2 billion yen, 20 billion yen. This will account for the labors of 100 humans. No, a single human life over 100 times over. Of course, if you still wanted to work, you could. Any money you gain as a result could be used to play with. After all, you'd already have enough money to live for your entire life. No, for eternity. No, wait, I mustn't keep it all to myself. I can split amongst 100 people. If I could create a world where a full 100 humans wouldn't have to work for their whole lives, just what kind of world would that be? If you give 2 million to a person, would they use it prudently to live their life, their entire life, or just spend it all in a year? What do you guys think? If I give 100 people $2 million, what would they do with that money? Would they spend it over years and years of careful planning, or would they spend it all in a year fulfilling their dreams? I think it's divided. I think some would use it well, prudently over many years. Some would just make like a wonderful year, I guess, a dreamlike experience in a year. I don't know. What would you guys do with 2 million if you received it in dollars? Yeah, there's no doubt at all.
ここが黄金鏡なんだ。
というわけで、ベルンバトラは見事に黄金を見つけましたとさ。めでたしめでたし。肝となる部分は少し伏せさせてもらったけど、そのくらいの意地悪はしてもいいわよね。
ああ、そこは好きにしな。
So the two witches already solved it, already know where the gold is, already know everything. Maybe not everything, but maybe where the gold is. I think Lambda Delta knows everything. But oh man.
碑文の謎がどういう謎々でどういう答えだったのかというミクロな見地に興味はね。
No, that's important actually.
その結果、黄金が10トン発見されたという事実の方だ。
The gold was discovered in the third game as well by Aunt Eva. Aunt Rosa also witnessed it. However, the two of them hadn't spoken of the gold's discovery to anyone. In other words, there was a chance that the gold's discovery was a catbox truth kept between the two of them. More specifically, it was possible that the gold didn't exist and was just an illusion.
しかし、俺がとうとう見つけちまったわけだ。猫箱が開かれちまった。
副将ごっこは時間の無駄だから先にサービスしてあげる。この黄金の山は本物よ。ここに積まれたインゴットは全て本物の純金。レプリカとか偽物とかそんな騙しは一切なし。
よし、わかった。この黄金は認めるぜ。だが認められないものがまだある。
そうよね、会っちゃったものね、金蔵に。
金蔵は幻想のはずなのに、あなたさっき出会っちゃったわよね。やっぱりこれは魔法なんじゃないのかしら。
小酒。俺は一言もじい様と言葉を交わしちゃいねえ。じい様と言葉を交わしたような気持ちになっただけだ。
Oh, that's true.
いい加減にしろ。同じ手はもう通用しない。
ならほらどうぞ、青き真実。
おそらく俺は自分の謎を解き興奮状態にあった。それで何かをじい様と見間違えたんだ。例えばそれは暗がりの木立に引っかかった何かのシートかカバーで、それが漆黒のマントを羽織ったじい様に見えたのかもしれない。その結果俺はじい様と何かのやり取りをしたように誤解したんだ。
青き真実、有効ね。まあ私も全く同じことを青で語ったわけだけど。
I need to see Bern Castell playing with Lambda Delta in that game.
それで通ったのか。赤き真実で反論は
ないわ、今のところはね。
Oh my god. Oh man, this episode 5 is very good. The me who'd let out a strange yell in front of the gold mountain was finally starting to regain his cool. Now that we found it, there's no covering it up. I vaguely considered keeping this discovery a secret. However, Erika wanted to prove that her own reasoning was correct by announcing this to everyone. She really is an intellectual rapist, just as she says. The puzzle-solving game is what's important to her, and she doesn't intend to take any responsibility for what happens after the riddle is solved. A riddle is sort of like a lock. Locks exist to be locked, and they're only significant when they're locked. Therefore, it ought to be essential to have some sort of goal in mind when exposing such a thing. However, to this girl, the act of exposing it is itself her final goal, and she has no intentions of taking responsibility for anything that happens that later. Oh man. She really is a detective. Maybe the true storm to hit Rokkenjima isn't the typhoon, but her. She won't keep this discovery secret. She'll definitely announce it so she can brag about her success. Then she'll call a real storm down upon this island. I won't be able to keep this covered up. In that case, there's nothing to do but announce this fact fairly to all. I can't imagine what will happen after that. As she grinned, Erika muttered to herself. She must have been anticipating the uproar that the relatives would soon bring about to her. Merely imagining that was far sweeter than 20 billion yen in gold.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、古田エリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
Oh my god.
いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This was insane. I think no, let's go. The sudden sound of someone banging fiercely on the door brought Natsuhi to her senses. She had probably nodded off on the study while planning on how they would overcome the next day. But what could it be at a time like this? More importantly, the knock itself was strange. If someone wanted to contact her, they could just use the internal phone line. She told them that she'd be here. Realizing that something strange was going on, Natsuhi shook her head one more time, completely throwing off her drowsiness.
お父様、エヴァです。至急重要なお話があります。
Ooh, Eva. It was Eva's voice. What is this? I thought I told them to lock the doors and windows of the mansion tightly after everyone left for the guest house. So why is Eva here? Natsuhi ran up to the door, responded with a small knock, and spoke through the door in a quiet voice.
何事ですか、想像し。
夏日姉さん、なんでこんな時間にあんたがお父様の書斎にいるのよ。
静かになさいと申し上げています。当主様が何よりも沈黙と静寂を好まれることをお忘れですか。
今はそんなこと言ってる場合じゃないのよ。ご託はいいからとっととここを開けなさい。お父様を出して。
当主様は先ほどお休みになられたばかりです。何のご用か存じませんが、明日私が伺います。
あんたなんかに用はないわよ。いいからさっさとここを開けなさい。
Sometimes multiple schemes and assumptions can fall apart due to the most direct, simple, and emotional of strategies. This is bad. If I open the door, Eva will probably throw herself forwards and rush into the study. Now I can't even open this door. That moment the phone suddenly rang. It's okay. Both of the keys to the study are here. No one can open this door. Natsuhi inched away from the door and grabbed the receiver.
もしもし、夏日です。
私だ。夏いことになった。急いで客間に降りてきてほしい。
It was from Krauss. His tone was strained. What in the world happened?
バトラ君とエリカという客人が魔女の碑文を解いて黄金を発見したらしいのだ。
Oh my god!
それは本当に？
Oh my god, this is episode 5.
ルドルフたちが押しかけてきている。これからバトラ君が全員立ち会いのもとに黄金の場所に案内すると言っている。
今書斎の扉の前でエヴァさんが開けろと騒いでいます。今開けたら書斎の中に押し入ってくるかもしれません。
わかった。私もそこに行く。エヴァには構うな。何もせずにそこにいるんだ。扉の前からエヴァを追い払ったら合図するからすぐに出てきたまえ。いいな。
Oh my god. Right after that, Krauss came up the staircase accompanied by Genji. A heated debate started between him and Eva. Open up. No, calm down. In the middle of that, there was a small knock as a signal. Krauss had cleverly pushed Eva away from the door and distracted her. During that gap, Natsuhi slipped out of the study and quickly shut the door. Eva noticed this and her face twisted in disappointment. The heavy sound of the auto lock had already rung out, and the door had been sealed.
碑文の黄金が見つかったのよ。お父様にご報告するのが筋でしょうが。それとも何？お父様にはそれを伝えられない都合でもあるの？
親父殿からは床についたら何があっても起こすなと厳命されていてね。それを守るのは当主代行の務めだよ。そうだろう、源氏さん。
はい、親方様のお休みは何があろうとも乱すことは許されません。
それも時と場合によるでしょうが。だって碑文が解けたのよ。お父様には真っ先に知る権利があるわ。
もちろん明日当主様には全てを私たちから報告します。それが当主代行である私たちの役目ですから。
そんなの知らないわよ。いいからこの扉を開けなさいよ。お父様に会わせなさい。お父様、聞こえていますか？エヴァです。ここを開けてください。話してよ。痛い。
Oh my god.
私たちが話を聞くと言っている。やかましく扉を叩くな。
話してよ。話しなさいよ。
クラウス様、エヴァ様、親方様がお休み中と申し上げております。これ以上はお控えください。
When Genji spoke firmly, the two finally ceased their scuffle. It seemed that Genji, the one who had spoken for Kinzo since they were very young, still possessed an air of dignity, strong enough to handle both Krauss and Eva. Eva put her argument aside for the time being. She could hold off worrying about that until she finally saw the gold with her own eyes. After all, not even Eva had seen it for herself yet. Natsuhi and the others had managed to somehow deal with the momentary crisis. What about Shannon? I need to know. However, the move of the demons, the sneer upon their efforts, had already begun.
バトラが碑文の謎を解いたというのか。
エリカなる娘にだいぶ助けられたとはいえ、たどり着いたのはバトラーだった。エリカは黄金鏡の権利を放棄すると宣言している。よってバトラが黄金鏡にたどり着きし者だ。
運命とは実に面白いものです。バトラ様がたどり着くとは。
どうするのです、ベアト。
碑文の謎を解く者が現れたなら儀式は取りやめる約束ですよ。
そういう取り決めであったな。
そういう取り決めだ。
バトラ様はどうやら黄金鏡の主となられるおつもりがないようだ。我らの主となる者はもはや現れぬようですな。
それもまた運命です。ゴールドスミス教とのご縁で人間の世界に権限して数十年、とても楽しい時間でしたよ。
やだリーヤ、ババ臭い。でどうするわけ？リーチェとゴールドスミスのルールなら、バトラが碑文を解き主となることを選ばない以上、私たちはこれでお役御免じゃないの？
そうであるな。私に未練は何もない。いつでも呼吸と末蹴落とされる覚悟はできておるぞ。
待て、そうはいかぬ。そなたの心残りはないかもしれぬが、わらわはまだ夏日に仕えておるぞ。バトラが碑文を解いたからお役御免ではあまりに義理を書くというもの。魔女は契約違反を許さぬが、不義理もまた許されぬ。
でしょうな。親族会議を終えるまではきっちりとお使いするべきでしょう。
となるとゴールドスミス教ももうしばらくはお役御免とはなりませんね。無事に親族会議を乗り越え、せめて夏日様にお別れの挨拶と、もしできるならこれまでの努力をねぎらわれるべきかと。
あれもよく具足を支えてきたものよ。
貴様など片刃をもがれた打天使ではないか。揃わぬ翼なら置き土産に捨てていけ。
Oh my god, Nazi and Battler, man. Oh god.
それもよかろう。夏日ならば我が翼を背負うにふさわしいかもしれぬ。しかしここからが正念場となるぞ。褒美は用意した。無事にこの試練を乗り越えてみよう。夏日。
Ooh. Happiness of Marionette bonus. The mountain of gold left everyone speechless. Regardless of how strongly they had believed in its existence, no one could look at this much real gold and not be shocked.
こんな場所があるなんて。
信じられん、親父め。
Everyone was stunned by the gold. The first one to break the silence and jump around in ecstasy was Hideyoshi. Letting out an excited laugh, he clung to the wall of gold, and he felt the cold, hard touch of it all over his cheek. That's Battler's gold now, you fuck. That's Battler's gold. Get away. Oh, that's why he dies. That's why Hideyoshi dies.
親父め、こんな黄金をこんなふざけたところに溜め込みやがって。
これだけあればもう何も怖くない。どんな試練だって乗り越えられる。ローザー姉さん姉さん、これで私たちは幸せになれるよね。
Eva and Rosa moved towards each other at the same time and hugged as they broke down crying. Oh my god. Ecstasy and shock, wonder and sights. After stepping forward in front of the pile of gold that had caused these mixed emotions, Erika spoke as though she was an announcer in some show.
この世が金なら、この黄金は幸せの結晶です。おめでとうございます。皆さん、この発見が皆さんの人生をより豊かなものにすることを心よりお祈りいたしております。
脱帽だわ。この島に来て丸一日さえ過ごしてないあなたが碑文を解いてしまうなんて。
1日で解けないなら何日をかけようとも解けません。灰色の脳細胞はひらめきを与えるのに瞬きする以上の時間を必要としませんので、そして私一人ではこの謎を解くことはできませんでした。バトラさんの功績もどうか称えてあげてください。
Oh, Battler. Oh, is he regretting everything? Oh my god.
私はこの発見を放棄します。推理が正しかったことが証明されただけでもう満足していますので、黄金発見の功績の全てをバトラさんに譲りたいと思います。私はここにおりますが、イボはいないものとしてどうぞお話をお続きください。バトラさんはいとこの皆さんに気づかれぬように大人の皆さんだけを呼び出しました。それが意味するところはただ一つ、皆さんに本当の親族会議を開いていただきたいからに他なりません。
エリカ、勝手に仕切るんじゃねえ。
Oh my god.
これは失礼しました。それでは議事の進行役を譲ります。では誰に？
Oh my god. I love their dynamic, man. I love it. Shrugging, Erika looked around at everyone. She's like everything I wanted the cousins to be. A person the same age as Battler who is actually good. Is actually an interesting character. After a short period of silence, Eva made their first move. It's only actually Beatrice who has an interesting dynamic with Battler. I mean, George is like a brotherly bond. Jessica, it's like that cousin. I don't know. But man, he needed someone else. Angie was also very good. But she's now
全員忘れてないでしょうね。
Smilesoira.
ああ、4人で25億ずつを山分けだ。そして次期当主にはさらに100億。
Oh man, Battler, just put your foot down and say 25% for every family. Come on. No need for difficulty here.
お待ちなさい。
Just 25% equal share for every family.
黄金の発見が次期当主を決めるなどと誰が決めたのですか？
おっと、そうはいかんで、夏日さん。これまでずっとそれを前提に話を進めてきたはずやで。今さらそれは白々しいとちゃうんか？
そうだわ。使用人の誰かが碑文を解いてしまって次期当主を名乗るかもしれないって怯えてたのは夏日姉さんじゃない。
どこにもそうだという明記はないがね。
卑劣感！私たち全員はそういう認識だったでしょうが。
Oh my god, this
そうだぜ兄
drama.
貴。今さら手のひらを返そうってのか？
This drama, man.
明文化されてなくてもそれは間違いなく私たちの共通認識だったはず。話にもならないとおっしゃるのはどう
Oh,
なのか
Battler
しら。
is not going to like it at all.
当主様の碑文を勝手に解釈されるのは困ります。黄金を見つけたらそのものが次期当主になるとどこに記されているというのです。当主様の碑文は当主様が決めたもの。皆さんに決めつける権利などありません。
夏日、落ち着きなさい。
これが落ち着けるというのですか？確かに碑文を解いた功績は素晴らしいと思います。バトラ君にも何かの見返りがあっても良いとは思います。しかしそれが半分というのは明らかに逸脱していますし、それ以上に発見者だから次期当主という論法はなおまかり通りません。
Battler, just push your foot down. Try to be an adult and say 25 for everyone, 25% for everyone. Krauss can remain the successor or whatever, and just get the hell out with your 25%. No need for hassle. You still be rich for the rest of your life. Come on. No need for the hassle. No need for death games. Oh man.
卑怯だわ夏日姉さん。
Oh god, this is what I'm talking about. Rosa and Ava are going to press the issue hard.
今日の昼間にしてた話と全然違う。
同感だぜ。明文化されてなくても碑文を解いたやつが次期当主になるってのは俺たちの不分率で最前提だったはずだ。それをこの土壇場でごちゃごちゃ言い出すのはフェアじゃねえぜ。ああ、フェアじゃねえ。
Krauss and Natsuhi are not winning this whatsoever. They're outnumbered here.
とにかくこの黄金はお父様の黄金です。お父様の許可なく勝手に分配を決めていいものではありません。
そらない。そら卑怯やで、夏日さん。わしらその話を延々と昼間にしたんやで。昼間の話を全部チャラや言うんか。そらあんまりやで。
多数決で決めればいいのよ。黄金を発見したバトラ君が次期当主。私も夫も異議はないわ。ルドルフたちは。ローザは。
異議なんかねえぜ。バトラよくやった。
Oh my god.
私も異議はないわ。
Oh my god, Rudolph. Oh man, so that's what it is.
バトラ君は非分に選ばれた正当な跡継ぎよ。不満ならお父様に直接聞けばいいんだわ。
そうね、夏日姉さんの言った通り、非分の謎を出題したのはお父様。そしてこの黄金の本来の持ち主もお父様だわ。だったらお父様に話を聞くべきじゃないのかしら。
Oh my god.
バトラ君という発見者はどう扱われるのか。それについて決めていいのはお父様だけのはずだわ。
Oh, is Battle gonna speak about Kinzo?
だから落ち着けと言ったのだ。
ローザとキリエさんの言う通りだわ。お父様に聞きましょうよ、お父様に。もはやね、兄さんたちの出番じゃないのよ。
せやせや、お父さんを連れてこんかい。あんたらじゃ話にならへん。ほんまの親族会議を始めようやないか。眠いから明日にしろっちゅう問題に見えまっか。これ舐めとったらえらい問題になります。
Oh my god, I cannot believe.
聞いとるんかい。お前らじゃ話にならん言うとるんや。たったとお父さん連れてこんかい。
Oh my god, this all the pieces are lining up so beautifully. Everything being built up. Oh my god.
俺が知るか。
腹の中ではいつもこうなのでしょうね。
Oh my god. Erika.
どうも。この場は金蔵さんじゃないと収められなくなるみたい。子供の喧嘩に余命あとわずかと宣告されてる今になってもまだ呼び出されるなんてどういう気持ちかしらね。それを想像、いいえ推理するのもおつなものです。
If episode 4 is like a final battle, then this episode is like the culmination of every built-up drama. Oh man, of the family conference at least. Oh man. Oh. The parents ignored Battler and Erika and keep yelling at each other on and on. Even though Battler had more or less imagined this sort of thing happened behind the scenes, this was the first time he'd seen it. He suspected it since 6 years ago, and he'd been able to get a pretty good idea of what it was like by the darkening expression on his parents' faces when this time of year drew near. However, this argument his relatives was having before his eyes was much more ugly than he had imagined. That's why he was very glad that he called the adults out here without letting the cousins catch wind of anything. Ooh, the cousins are going to die. Oh my god! So this is gonna be a sibling drama chapter. Oh my god! Perhaps because everyone was tired out from this seemingly endless argument, they took a short break. It was decided that the family conference inside the Golden Land should be moved over to the mansion. This place may have been gorgeous, like a VIP room. There was no heating and it was a little cold. It wasn't well suited for a long conversation. They thought of the possibility that someone might snatch the gold away while their backs were turned. But of course, no one could manage much with just human hands, and a small amount of time when it's 10 tons of gold they're dealing with. In fact, it might be said that having this mountain of gold in the background was actually robbing them of the ability to make sound decisions. So they agreed to return to the mansion, in part so they could regain their composure and continue the conference more cold-bloodedly. Battler, you need to put your foot down. You need So Battle didn't mention Kinzo, did he? Ooh.
それでは私は今夜はこれで失礼します。これ以上はお邪魔でしょうから。
お、悪いな。気を使わせちまったか。
あなたへのお礼は明日改めてさせてちょうだいね。恥ずかしいところを見せてごめんなさい。
あなたは辞退すると言ったけど、私たちはあなたへの感謝の気持ちを込めて第一発見者の一人にふさわしい分け前を用意させていただくわ。
I think Jessica's face will be enough, I guess.
ねえ兄さん。
君ほどの人だ。我々の事情は察してくれると思うね。
$20 billion in yen in gold isn't something they wanted out in the open. They didn't want an outsider like Erika telling people about it. Of course, Erika had already reasoned out that much. She wore an unpleasant smile on her face as though she understood it all too well.
私のことはお気になされなくて結構です。もちろん口外する気もありません。したところで証拠を示せぬ限り誰も信じないでしょうし。
She really is a detective. Holy hell.
今夜は良いものを見せてもらいました。眼福でしたので私はこれでもう十分です。
She's like Conan Edogawa, but with all the bad traits amplified to the limits. Oh man.
そうね。10トンの黄金なんてなかなか見られるものじゃないもんね。
Seeing the gold was the spectacle? Of course not. Judging by Erika's dark nature, it's obvious what she's so happy about. I thought about telling her to just go away, but even I wanted to get out of this place. I tried to head back to the guest house along with Erika. However, a curious son grabbed my shoulder.
バトラ君はダメよ。あなたも一緒に来てちょうだい。
せやせや、君は今や立派な次期当主なんやで。お父さんにお目通りして早くそれを認めてもらわんとな。
それを決めていいのは当主様だけです。勝手なことを決めないように。
バトラ、面倒だろうがもうしばらく付き合ってもらうぜ。お前は何も言うな。黙ってうつむいてりゃいい。
Ooh. So it's like that, Rudolph.
分かったな。
好きにしやがれ。
It would have been easy to say that I had no interest in being the successor. I was sure that will only add more oil to the fire. Even if I hadn't been ordered to keep quiet, staying shut up like a clam was clearly a good idea. In that case, would it really be so bad if they just let me go back to the guest house? Wait, let me see here. Let me pause the video for a second. In that case, would it really be so bad if they just let me go back to the guest house? That put his arms firmly around my shoulder, and I told him it was uncomfortable and to let it go. However, he didn't pay attention to a word I said. Oh, man. So basically...
気分解けたな。お前のお望み通りに。
Ooh, did he?
お前がゲームマスターの時にはいつも手紙が来るもんな。
I mean, if it was 5 billion for each family, wouldn't that be enough? 5 billion. That's like $50 million for every family.
碑文を解いてみろ。
I mean, I don't know if that's enough to pay Cross's debts.
解けなきゃ皆殺しだ。
$50 million. Why did she want to make us solve the riddle of the Epitaph? By solving it, we found a mountain of gold. Yippee for us. And what about Beato? Does she gain anything by having us find the gold? Or does she lose something?
チェスパン思考にのっとる限り、人は自らが損になる一手は打たない。だからお前は、俺たちが碑文を解くことで何か得をするはずなんだ。
いいえ、碑文を誰かが解くことでこの子が何かを得ることはありません。
お
いいのか、こいつに断らずに勝手に赤き真実を使っちまっても。
この子もそれを望むでしょうから。
Virgilia, what suddenly appeared there, could give an answer to my question with the right truth.
俺は過去にベアトが碑文を俺たちに解かせようとするのは黄金の隠し場所を見つけさせて横取りするためだと推理したことがある。それも違うのか？
はい。第一、もともと黄金鏡の黄金はこの子のもの。見つけさせる必要も横取りする必要も何もありません。
Of course, Beato is the Beatrice the Golden, and she's the master of the Golden Land, and the USHIROMIYA family alchemist. That totally makes sense. However, that makes me even more confused. Even if someone exposed the answer to the Epitaph's riddle, Beato had nothing to gain. No, to the contrary, her own gold might be stolen away.
なら、碑文殺人はわかる。後ろ宮家に対する復讐とか、あるいは魔女としての力を復活させるための儀式とか。
Fat fingers, I'm sorry.
こいつなりの理由や目的があってやってるんだろうからな。なら、ますますにわからない。碑文殺人はわかる。だが、碑文の謎を解けというのには、どんな意味があるんだ？俺たちが解いても解かなくても、こいつに得るものは何もない。つまり、ベアトにとって、碑文の謎が解ける解けないという問題は、無価値なものなんだ。
そうですね。碑文の謎が解けても解けなくても、この子にとって得るものは何もありません。
Repeat this in red. Does she have to gain something if Battler solves the epitaph? Battler specifically. Not if the epitaph riddle is solved or not, but who solves it. I need to get that wordplay out. I need you guys to stop using wordplay to make things confusing.
解けても解けなくても。それはつまり、碑文の謎自体がベアトにとって無価値だということになるんじゃないのか。
She has something to gain if a specific person solves it, maybe.
解けても解けなくても何の意味もない。それはつまり、碑文の謎自体がベアトにとって無価値だということになるんじゃないのか。
そうですね。碑文の謎はこの子にとって何の意味もない。ならばそれを無価値であると極論しても言い返せないかもしれませんね。
Beato, why are you making us solve the Epitaph's riddle? If you liken the witch you are to a pair of scales, the Epitaph murders lie on one plate, and the riddle of the Epitaph lies on the other plate. After all, she's saying she'll stop the Epitaph murders if the Epitaph is solved. In other words, the Epitaph murders and the Epitaph's riddles are worth the same to Beato. Like two sides on a balanced scale. That means that both the Epitaph's riddle and massacring all the relatives are equally significant from Beato's point of view. But Virgilia responded with the red truth. Regardless of whether the Epitaph is solved or not, Beato has nothing to gain. If she has nothing to gain, then this Epitaph's riddle is meaningless and immaterial to Beato. In that case, how much are the Epitaph murders, which lie on the other side of the scales, and are equal to the Epitaph's riddle in value, worth to her? Think. Don't stop thinking. The Epitaph murders and solving the riddle of the Epitaph had equal worth. As long as the Epitaph murders, which are Beato's goal each time, have this single way that they can be stopped, a way that she decided on herself, both are worth the same thing to her. X equals Y. And whether the Epitaph's riddle is solved or not, Beato has nothing to gain. Y equals 0. So in that case, what is X? Oh man.
おいおい、それじゃ碑文殺人もまた無意味無価値ってことになっちまうぞ。こいつはご丁寧に予告状を出し、 碑文に沿うように順番にバレないように次々殺していくというめちゃくちゃ面倒な手間を払ってまで毎度あのおかしな連続殺人を起こしてるんだぜ。その意味がなくなっちまうじゃねえか。
So it's a form of despair, I think. Both are forms of despair, I think. If she has nothing to gain from either the murders or the epitaph, then it's all just a form of despair. Like an ending it all if no conclusion is reached. I spun the chessboard around and searched through Beato's moves over and over. This is always the first place I stumble. The significance of the Epitaph murders. Why did she have to commit serial murders in a way that reproduced the witch's epitaph? If she wanted to kill the whole USHIROMIYA family for revenge, it'd be much simpler, safer, and more reliable if she just put poison into their dinner. Or else went around killing people one by one in the middle of the night when they were sleeping. However, on the first evening, Beato sent us a letter that sounded like an advance notice, and carried out a 3-part serial murder with large gaps in between. The 6 people in the first twilight, the 2 people of the second twilight, and the 5 people of the fourth and later twilights. We aren't fools. Once the first murder occurs, we barricade ourselves in somewhere to stave off any further murders. Furthermore, we quickly suspect a culprit amongst us and start analyzing each other's alibis. As the victims increase, the number of suspects decreases automatically, and Beato's chances of success in the serial murder drop closer and closer to 0. I don't think she actually cares about killing everyone, because there's always the disaster that occurs that ends everyone. So even if she fails midway, I don't think she cares. It's just a form of despair. All the Epitaph murders are like she's strangling her own neck, making it hard to succeed in the serial murder she's attempting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying since the beginning. She's strangling her own neck with these 2 things. It's because she's searching for something, not this. All for useless embellishment, all just for show.
こいつは自分で自分の目的の難易度を上げている。
She's just strangling her own neck, man. She's at the end of her wits. Because you returned. She's desperate. She's completely desperate for someone to solve it and someone to survive. And she thinks, oh man, she didn't kill Battler in episode 4. It was another thing that killed Battler. It was the disaster. She doesn't want Battler to die at all, actually. She never kills Battler, the Peace Battler, in any of the Twilights. Shannon never actually kills Battler. Never touches him. Even George was killed earlier on sometimes. Jessica as well. Her best friend Jessica and her lover George are always they weren't killed in the first game, but they were killed in later games first as well. This one as well. Oh god. But never Battler. Never Battler. He always remains until the end. He only died due to someone else, like Ava in the 3rd game. And I think the disasters in the other games. So I think that she wants someone to solve the riddle, get the gold, maybe get to the secret passageway to Quadrillion and survive. I think she knows that the disaster happens, so she's despairing because Battler has arrived on the island right on the time when everything would kill everyone. I think that she's quite anxious about that, I think. Oh man.
そうなりますね。
I'm sorry for an extended theory crafting here. I'm sorry.
おかしな子ですね。
知ってるか？
Analysis.
ミステリー小説ではこういう非分殺人のことを見立て殺人という。この見立て殺人が行われる理由を俺は3つに大別できると思ってる。
伺いましょう。
一つは非分に沿うことで証拠やアリバイをごまかし犯人に利するためだ。死んだふりをして自らを犠牲者に混ぜる古典もこれだし、非分に沿わずに殺人を犯しその発生順序を誤解させることによってアリバイを作るのもこれだ。
なるほど。非分に沿って儀式的に殺していると見せかけて、実は自分に利するように誘導しているわけですね。面白いと思います。
だが
I thought that in the first game.
俺たちのゲームでは死者が赤でとどめを刺されちまう。ゲーム版の世界ではごまかせてもここから俯瞰する俺たちはごまかせない。
Is that true? I don't think so, Battler. The red truth can also be a lie if worded correctly. You know that, don't you?
だからこの最も王道となる目的は違うってことになる。
Some truths are even more difficult. Some truths are even more lies than real lies sometimes.
となると、見立て殺人を行うあと2つの理由は？
一つは偶然、意図せずして行った連続殺人がたまたま非分をなぞる形になり、目撃者たちが勝手に見立て殺人だと誤解するケース。人間はどのような事象にも因果性を求めてしまう。きっとそうに違いないと思ったらそう見えてしまう生き物だ。
なるほど、それも面白いですね。ですがどうでしょう。この子のゲームでは第一の晩の殺人以前に常に事件が予告されている。そして明白に非分殺人を遂行していることを示す手紙や状況証拠が次々に見つかるはずです。
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, the most difficult thing to notice is the gouge and kill and the manufactured stakes that are in their bodies.
偶然なんかじゃない。ベアトは初めから非分殺人を見せつける目的で遂行している。
I still didn't talk about the stakes. I think they were all manufactured by Kinzo, and Shannon uses them to murder people later on. Not murder, just to place it on the bodies later on that she kills. So she uses Kinzo's collection of guns, and she uses the stakes that he forged.
俺たちが誤解してるんじゃない。これは明白な見立て殺人なんだ。だからこの理由でもない。
となると最後の一つの理由になりますね。
She follows the strict rules, uses it to confuse people, but not for her advantage, but for her despair instead.
最後の一つは見せつけること、つまり恐怖だ。非分に沿うということは、殺人が連続するという明白な予告だ。生存者たちは続くに違いない殺人にずっと怯えさせられることになる。
つまりこの子は死の恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を。
と思うと割と収まりがいい。グロい遺体損壊も悪趣味な装飾も全て俺たちを怖がらせるための演出。
誰を怖がらせるためなのですか？
Oh, Battler, come on, notice it.
だからそれは俺たちを。
Come on, Battler. After hearing that one line Virgilia spoke so casually, my thoughts clouded over once again. Is it really sufficient to use the vague word us? There are many humans in the USHIROMIYA family. There's the head and the one who holds the rank of his successor, grandfather, and Uncle Krauss. There's the relatives who have some pull in the business world. On the other side, you have the young cousins, who usually visit at most once a year, and the unfortunate servants who just happen to be on duty that day. Even if the culprit hates all of us, there should be clear differences in how much they hate some of us compared to others. So it should be possible to pick out people amongst us that the culprit especially wanted to terrorize or have revenge against. Remember episode 4. A sin you committed 6 years ago is causing people to die. Come on, remember that. Come on. If you liken this to a kid eating dessert, isn't the strawberry on top of a shortcake the part you shouldn't eat last? No one tells you you shouldn't eat it first, but our mentality encourages us to save it for later. I know, no, I eat it.
最も恨んでいる人物を最後まで残したがるってことになるよな。
Oh my god.
ああ、俺の好きな小説の好きなキャラが言ってたぜ。そいつの親しいものから先に殺していって、悲しみを味わわせてから最後に本人を殺すってのが。
You realize that you were the only one left in all of the games. Most episode 3. It's kind of weird, episode 3, because Eva kills you, but still, you always survive until the very, very end.
一番恐ろしい殺し方なんだ。みたいなこと。
At least most of the epitaphs most of the twilights, you actually do survive. You always reach the 9th twilight. Come on, you need to realize that.
おやおや。恐ろしい小説もあったものです。くわばらくわばら。
じゃあ最後まで生き残るやつが最もベアトに恨まれてるって論法になるぜ。
Or the other way around.
しかし毎回殺される人間も順序もめちゃくちゃじゃねえか。
Is gonna realize it?
最終的には死ぬにせよ。最後の晩まで毎回生き残るやつなんて。
Oh, he realizes it. He realizes it finally! Oh my god, Battler. You alone. I'm the only one.
先に赤で申し上げておきましょう。バトラ君は犯人ではありませんよ。
Oh my god!
バトラ君は誰も殺してはいません。これは全てのゲームにおいて言えることです。
Was he doubting himself?
ならなおのこと。俺ってことになる。こいつが非分殺人を起こす唯一の理由は俺に見せつけるためってことになる。
Oh my god. I need to see the red truths again. Battler, you are not the culprit. You haven't killed anyone. This can be said of all games. Every time Beato brags that she will choose whom to kill next with a roulette. However, I'm the only one she never kills. Though she does kill me in the end, she leaves me be until the very last moment. In all of these supposedly random games, there's only this one unchanging constant.
こいつは俺に復讐を。
Dead angle.
俺に恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を行っているというのか。
それは違います。恐怖を味わわせるのが目的ではありません。誰かに復讐するためのものでもありません。
She really wants Battler to survive. And it isn't to have revenge on someone either. Oh god. I'm wrong. No, I'm actually right, actually. I think it's all despair. She's at her wit's end. Battler has returned. There's a disaster about to occur. And she doesn't want Battler to die, so she wants him to solve the epitaph and escape. Oh my god. Shannon. Without love, it cannot be seen. Oh my god.
ならやはり非分殺人には意味なんてないことになる。非分の謎も無意味、対となる非分殺人も無意味。 X イコール Y イコール0だが、その無意味をこいつは明白に俺に対して見せつけている。無意味なことと同価値の何を俺に求めているんだ。わからねえ。考えれば考えるほどにこいつが何を考えてるのか俺にはわからねえ。
Don't stop thinking, Ballard. Don't stop thinking. Oh my god. Beatrice, the fickle witch who committed meaningless, worthless string of serial murders. Even the Epitaph's riddle, which that witch used as a trigger that could suspend the serial murders, is meaningless, immaterial, and yet she's thrusting this meaningless, immaterial thing in front of my face. What is it that you want from me? Or else, what is it that you're giving me? Oh my god. My idea is that Beato had clearly been taking revenge on me has already been denied by Virgilia's red truth. Both X and Y, both the Epitaph murders and the Epitaph's riddle hold no meaning for Beatrice. X equals Y equals 0. However, since she's thrusting all those things in front of me, they must have some meaning. She so does the scales, representing if you don't solve the Epitaph, I'll carry out the Epitaph murders. In other words, neither the Epitaph murders nor the Epitaph's riddle have any significance by themselves. Oh, she doesn't want to give him the answer because of the sin, but she also doesn't want him to die, so she doesn't kill him until the very end. She leaves it to fate. If he solves it, then even if he doesn't remember the sin, he's still dead. Oh my god. However, it becomes meaningful when she puts both half of the scales and puts them on a display before us. No, before me. In other words, it should be like this. X equals 0. Y equals 0. X plus Y not not 0. A scale of meaningless, weightless things on both sides. Higher than 0 actually. However, it was weight itself and gives the rest meaning.
まるで遊びだな。子供のじゃんけんみたいだ。
Oh man. Rock, paper, scissors is an extremely familiar method of randomly determining a winner and a loser. You sometimes wager some sort of reward on the outcome, but kids often do rock, paper, scissors just to play, without betting anything in particular. Unless you bet something, you have nothing to gain or lose, except the happiness and frustration. In other words, the two sides of the scale, both winning and losing, are immaterial. However, the very fact of seeing which way it will tip is the reason kids play rock, paper, scissors. After all, kids are enjoying their communication that surrounds the game, and they aren't purely interested in the value of winning or losing. They aren't overly concerned about who wins and who loses.
それじゃベアトにとって非分殺人は成功してもしなくてもいいものってことになっちまう。
Oh my god.
その過程そのものを楽しんでいるかのようにさえ思える。以前の俺なら無意味な殺人を繰り返す非道な魔女だと決めつけこいつを罵っただろうさ。だが今の俺にはそうとは思えない。
ありがとう。だから赤をもう一つ与えましょう。ベアとは快楽目的で殺人を行っていることはありません。
She didn't do it for pleasure. She didn't do it to make anyone feel fear. Since she had nothing to gain, She doesn't care whether the Epitaph murders succeed or fail. It's almost like a random game kids will play.
違う。意味があるんだ、こいつには。
意味とは？
わからない。天秤の両端は無価値だ。こいつにとってこの天秤はしっかりと重みあるものなんだ。
Of course, it isn't meaningless. Some meaning definitely exists. The previous game she urged me to remember my sin of 6 years ago. And am I supposed to believe that was meaningless too? No. That definitely isn't the case. I clearly remember the serious gaze Beato had back then. Unfortunately, I didn't have a clue what she meant. When she saw that, she was horribly dejected. That's right. At that time, I'm sure she even went so far as to say that the crime would have occurred if I hadn't come.
Oh
my god.
あるんだ。こいつにとっては。意味が。そしてそれを俺に求めてる。
Oh my god. I laughed softly and poked Beato lightly on the head. Oh my god. This is so... Then patted her head. Then patted her head.
次からは好きですと短く書くことを勧めるぜ。
Oh my god. Ballard.
あまり回りくどくて難解だと意味が伝わらねえぞ。
Oh my god, I'm feeling things here. Oh.
こいつが何を考えてるのか相変わらずさっぱりさ。
Oh my god, his face.
だが俺は考えることをやめないぜ。まだまだチェス盤をひっくり返せ。お前の思考をたどる旅を俺は絶対にくじけないからな。
Oh god. The ship is sailing so strong right now. Oh. I should... I'm going forward. Ballard did nothing but gaze blankly out the window. Fighting between the relatives went on without end. At first, the relatives had crowded around the study. However, no matter how much they knocked, the master of the study did not answer even once. Even several others said they should open the door with a second key, the one Genji held. However, in a flash of brilliance, Natsuhi said that Kinzo had been in a particularly bad mood and had taken back the key he'd previously given to Kenji, which meant that he now had both keys himself. She claimed that this was the reason they couldn't open the door. After she promised to let them meet Kinzo tomorrow morning, no matter what, they finally returned to the dining hall. But of course, the argument continued on even there. Eva's group needed a lot of cash very soon, and they were trying to threaten Krauss somehow and make him pay up. Apparently, Battler solving the Epitaph threatened Krauss' position as the successor, which gave the others a powerful tailwind. On the other side, Krauss and Natsuhi based their arguments on the claim that it never been specified that the ownership of gold would be handed over to the person who solved the Epitaph. It hadn't been hidden gold, but simply Kinzo's stockpile, and was still Kinzo's property, which meant it would naturally be distributed after Kinzo's death, with the rest of the inheritance. Once they made that claim, Eva's group once again started demanding to be allowed to see Kinzo. It had probably been obvious from the beginning. This sibling fight could only be settled by Kinzo. This was obviously a confrontation between Eva's group, which wanted cash fast, and Krauss, who was hiding his lack of funds, but still didn't need money right away. As he listened vaguely to this exchange, Battler marveled at how, despite their usual affluent airs, they were surprisingly deep in debt.
それもさっき聞いた話ではないかね。もういい。休止しよう。お互い一度した話を延々と繰り返しているだけだ。
According to the clock, it was almost midnight. October 4th, midnight. It certainly was a perfect time for a break. The atmosphere relaxed just a bit.
同感や。お互い一服するのも悪くないで。ほな以後は議事を取りながらにせんか。言った言わないはもうごめんや。
まったくだわ。下の根も乾かないうちにそんなことは言ってないなんて。平気で言い出す兄さんとの会議に議事録は必須だものね。
文字じゃ書くのも手間だし、インチキだっていくらでもできるわ。
そうだな。兄貴、こいつは動くのか。
オーディオセットかね。なるほど。それならば議事を手書きせずに済むし、捏造もできんね。
Oh my god.
互いにとって公平だ。
A tape set. Oh
勝手に
man.
いじらないように。当主様の大切な音楽テープですよ。
The dignified tape set had a sense of weight to it that matched this majestic dining hall perfectly. On pleasant Sunday mornings, it was sometimes used to play famous tapes on record. However, right now, it was the most neutral and impartial conference record keeper around. Rudolph fished randomly around the cassette rack, searching for a blank tape. Ooh. And every time he found some tape with sophisticated music on it, he complained about how pompous it was.
失礼します。お呼びでしょうか。
休憩することになったの。申し訳ないんだけど、何か飲み物を用意してもらえないかしら。ビスケットみたいなものがあってもいいかもね。
かしこまりました。すぐにご用意いたします。
あと、ごめんなさい。風邪薬あるかしら。さっきから熱っぽくて。
なら無理は良くないな。休みたまえ。
ローザがいいと思うなら好きに休めば。
Rosa dies in the guest house. Oh my god. Oh, everyone and Battler is going to be here while the murders happen on the guest house. Oh my god.
私ならこの大事な会議中に風邪くらいじゃ休まないけどね。
そうかね。私は遠慮なく休ませてもらうよ。夏日、私たちも少し休まないかね。
はい、あなた。
Sensing that he meant to have a strategy meeting, Natsuhi stood up. Even if that hadn't been the case, she was desperate to get out of the room, even for a moment that she'd taken any excuse. Krauss and Natsuhi left the dining hall, and the tension in the room truly relaxed.
バトラ君もお疲れ様。最悪の気分でしょ。大人の階段だと思って諦めて。
俺はいつまでここでボサーっとしてりゃいいんすかね。
さあ、バトラ君は私たちのおみこしだからね。眠い
古典の授業程度には。
今夜はどうせお父さんは現れないでしょう。クラウス兄さんたちが戻ってきたら、バトラ君はもう戻っていいかと提案してみるわ。
よろしく頼んます。
He's not gonna talk about Kinzo, is he? Oh, Peace Battler. Oh, Peace Battler is someone? Oh my god. A light knock and the faint sound of china clinking together could be heard. Oh, Shannon. Oh my god, Shannon. Oh my god. Shannon and Kanon had come by with a serving cart. The pleasant smell of black tea had the effect of relieving a bit of the tension.
よ、話は聞いてるか？
何のお話でしょうか？
Please let Shannon hear it. I need it.
僕たちは何も。よしなさい、ルドルフ。教える必要は何もないわ。
Fuck you, Eva. I need... Oh my god. No, not this.
家具ですから、親族会議のお話には関心ありません。
They need to hear it, man.
そうね。それが賢い返事だわ。
Fuck you, Eva.
深夜勤なの？
Fucking cock blocker.
大変ね。
Why is Kanon here, though?
そういうお役目ですので、ご用命いただけて嬉しいです。
Why is Shannon here? Wouldn't he be on the... I don't know. I guess, is it Gohda and Kumasawa in the guest house now?
することもなくぼんやり起きてる方がしんどいもんや。
I'm already thinking about the mystery of the first Twilight before it even happens. Oh my god.
わしも下積み時代に倉庫番とかやったことあるんやけどな。ただ起きてるだけでもこれがとにかく辛いんや。戦争直後はな、物資泥棒とかゾロゾロおってな、警察も頼れん時代でとにかく物騒でな。
Hideyoshi was particularly proud of how he started up with nothing and built up assets by illegally diverting goods from the American army. Once the subject came up, Hideyoshi tended to go pretty talkative. The relatives who knew this were greatly relieved to see that a perfect sacrifice had come off.
バレたら一大じゃ。アメさんは怖いで。牛肉食っとるからパワーも桁違いや。捕まったら最後銃殺刑かデスバイハンギングや。わかるか？デスバイハンギング。それでな、わしは思うたんや。肉や。日本人はもっと肉を食わなあかん。そしてわしは胃袋をつかむ商売を始めなあかんという典型を受けたんや。
それは大変なお仕事ですね。
よしなさいよ、あなた。戦後生まれにいくら話しても当時の苦労なんか伝わらないわよ。
Just have protein injected into your liver or something. Oh my god. Instead of eating meat, just eat protein.
ん？またわしの悪い癖が出てしもうたな。すまん。
あなたたちもお茶をしていきなさいよ。たまには自分たちがどういう紅茶を入れてるか、その下で学ぶのもいい勉強になると思うわ。
いえ、結構です。お気遣いなく。
少し付き合ってくれよ。
I guess it's because height is actually, it's quite a complicated issue. It's both genetic and nurtured actually. So if you have like a balanced diet while you are young with a lot of protein and a lot of exercise and a lot of sleeping, you would normally get a bit higher if you hadn't done those. But it's also determined by our genetic makeup, I think. So yeah, it's complicated. It's very complicated.
大人ばかりで俺も窒息しそうなんだ。
そら、次期当主のバトラ様のご命令だぞ。そこに座って俺たちとしばらくお茶しろい。それで最近の出来事とか趣味とか見てるテレビとか若者の今の流行りとかそういう話をしやがれ。俺たちの勉強になるからな。
I need to see Shannon. Shannon's reaction, please.
めあんね。ほら、二人とも座って。そして話題に飢えた私たちの生贄になってちょうだい。
Oh my gosh.
そうやな。若い子と話をしよう思ったらキャバクラでもいかんとこの年では難しいわ。
Oh my god.
いつまでぼさっと突っ立ってんのよ。ルドルフが座れと命令したわ。座りなさいよ。私も許可してあげるわ。
Oh, after getting Ava's permission, Shannon and Kanon looked at each other and finally obeyed nervously. For a while, the two were pounded by questions and became the relatives' playthings. Then, a reserved knocking sound could be heard. All of the servants tend to knock in a similar manner, so no one found strange. However, Shannon and Kanon turned around with a surprised look on their faces. What is... The servants here today included the two of them, Genji, Kumasawa, and Gohda. Gohda had the midnight shift at the guest house. Kumasawa had gone to bed in the spare room in the guest house. Oh, so I was right. The two of them were right now here, so Genji was the only one person left. They knew very well that Genji wouldn't knock like that.
誰だ？開いてるぜ。勝手に入れよ。
Rudolph didn't recognize the knock either. When he asked who it is, it became apparent that no one knew whose knock it was. After that, the same knock, knock, repeated just once more. Oh man. Could it be that someone had their hands full and was asking that the door be opened for them? As a slightly odd feeling began to encompass the room, the sound of the large clock in the hall could be heard. Oh my god. It was a sign that October 4th had ended and October 5th had begun. Why am I feeling so tense? This is supposed to be the usual thing. Oh my god. I guess it's because it's the first answer arc. I'm feeling so tense. Let's step back in time a bit. At this time, Krauss and Natsuhi were a ways off, in a deserted corridor on the second floor.
それしか手はないのかね。
はい、明日一日同じ手はもはや通用しないでしょう。これ以上を渋れば、エヴァさんたちはお父様を監禁しているなどと主張して警察に訴える可能性さえあります。もうこれが限界です。バトラ君が黄金を発見するのが全く想定外でした。あれさえなければなんとかうまくやりくりできる筋書きを考えていたのですが。
私がかけるといつもこうだな。いつも想定外のことが起き、絶対確実だった話がおかしくなる。
明日の朝、お父様の部屋が空っぽであるということにします。
You need to do this now, I think.
源氏と口裏を合わせ、早朝に森へ出かけていくのを見たと言わせましょう。
I think you should. Oh, Ballard is going to dismiss that. Or maybe not. Father heading out to the forest early in the morning. Ooh. But it was at night that he was in the forest. Oh my god.
その思想をエヴァたちが素直に受け入れるとは思えん。
客も承知です。しかし、もうそれしか手がありません。
そのようなことをすれば、エヴァたちは疑わしいと騒ぎ立てるだろう。エヴァたちは金をせしめるためなら、なりふりなど構うまい。それこそおかしな雑誌とつるんで、私の信用にダメージを与えてくるかもしれない。
ダメージで済むではありませんか。万一にもお父様の秘密を知られたら、それどころでは済みません。
明日一日をギリギリまで粘ってからでも遅くはない。もしも明日を無事に乗り切ることができれば、私たちは何も失うものはないのだ。焦って失踪という切り札を切る必要はない。
彼らがお父様を監禁していると騒ぎ立て、そこに失踪していたと返すのですか。その方がはるかに疑いを招きます。
Say that he went missing during the night and
お父様にお休みいただきましょう。
and the servants were looking for him and not trying to make a distress to the family.
これ以上は無理です。
落ち着きたまえ。エヴァたちの毒気を浴びすぎて冷静を失っただけだ。あの書斎に入る鍵は2本しかない。そしてその2本はここに。だから誰も入ることなどできん。
Dude, there's Ballard and there's Erika here right now.
あの扉は特別製だ。
Kyrie as well.
彼らが倉庫からどんな工具を持ってこようとも
You're completely
びくとも
done.
せんよ。
そういう物理的な問題ではありません。
だから焦るな。落ち着け。
Bern Ballard. There's Bern Ballard and there's also Erika. You're so fucked.
なんなら君は熱を出したことにして寝込んでいてくれればいい。その間に私が全て乗り切ってみせる。
あなただけに任せられません。私も最後まで戦います。
When Natsuhi could no longer hold back the tears brought by her fierce emotions, Krauss held her gently. Just how long had it been since the last time she'd felt the warmth of her husband's compassion?
頭痛がひどいのだろう。君がそういうシワを眉間に浮かべるときはいつもそうだ。
あなた。
She had come to think that her husband could never guess the way she felt, but at times like this,
失踪という切り札は 最後の最後まで待とう。殿下の報道と同じだよ。抜かないうちが花だ。大事なのはいつでも抜けるという心構えではないかね。
それは分かっています。
その切り札を私に預けてくれんかね。もちろん最後の瞬間の責任は全て私が取る。君とジェシカは巻き込まん。
それはどういう意味ですか？
後ろ宮家が滅ぶ時、その瓦礫に潰されるのは私だけで十分だ。台風が過ぎたら離婚届を準備しよう。それに捺印し君に預けておく。内緒で君の名義にしてある財産がある。さらにそれに慰謝料を加えれば君とジェシカは不自由なく暮らせるはずだ。
嫌です。私の墓碑に刻むべき名は後宮夏日です。どうか最後の瞬間までご一緒に。たとえあなたが後宮家最後の当主であろうとも、夏日は最後までどうか当主夫人であなたの妻でいさせてください。
Krauss's existence was founded solely upon the trust and power of his assets as a financial fixer. If either of those weakened, nothing would remain. If they used the trump card of Kinzo's disappearance, they would lose one of their two essential supports. It was like offering your right arm in exchange for your neck being cut. It was probably better than losing your head, but you still might die from the blood loss. And even on the off chance you did survive, you had to bear that heavy wound that wouldn't heal for the rest of your life. Krauss was prepared even for death. Understanding this, Natsuhi buried her face in Krauss's chest and cried. Oh, this is harsh.
お取り込み中、失礼いたします。
The sudden appearance of Genji's voice made Natsuhi jump back and hurriedly wipe the tears from her eyes. Krauss stood in front of Natsuhi, shielding her.
源氏さんか。驚かせないでくれたまえ。何か用かね。
はい、申し訳ございませんが、奥様にご報告が。
私にですか、あなた。
構わんよ。
Krauss left Natsuhi's side, went to a window a short ways off, and gazed at the windy and rainy rose garden. Natsuhi went with Genji to a place a short distance away.
何事ですか？
はい、実はまた奥様にお電話が。
Oh my god. Oh my god. At that moment, a sudden eerie sound surprised her. It was the large clock in the hall announcing midnight.
まさか
Stupefaction.
あの男なのですか？
はい、いかがいたしましょう。
要件は何だと言っていますか？
お答えいただけません。奥様と直接お話ししたいとの一点張りでございます。
Oh shit. How did Ballard? Oh my god. Again, a phone call from that man who claimed to be taking revenge for something that happened 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That was just 1 year before Jessica and Ballard were born. In Natsuhi's eyes, that gap between 19 years ago and 18 years ago was immense. For a long time, she had been unable to fulfill her role of creating a successor for the USHIROMIYA family and had been treated very coldly. But then she finally gave birth to Jessica and became able to call herself the USHIROMIYA successor's wife with her head held high. Oh, did you have a dalliance with Rudolph? So in her eyes, USHIROMIYA Natsuhi began 18 years ago. That's why everything before that, including the events of 19 years ago, contained nothing but hateful memories. She tried to abort her. Oh my god. Did she try some abortion and it didn't work? Then she abandoned. Oh my god. And something from the last year of that hateful period is whispering vengeful words from the other side from the other end of the phone. I can still hear the roar of the sea. Oh. Oh.
いかがなさいますか?
Oh. Oh. Nazi.
私の部屋に転送しなさい。
Oh my god.
主人には内密に。
かしこまりました。
Is this what I think it's going? Where I think it's going? From the very beginning, Gage had guessed that she wouldn't want Krauss hearing about this phone call. That's why he had told Nazi covertly. Nazi ordered that he transfer the call, told Krauss that she would turn in for the night, and left at a quick pace. Oh my god. She returned to her room and locked the door. There was nothing peculiar about that. In the USHIROMIYA family, hallways are like public roads. There's no special meaning in locking the door when you enter your own room. This is what she told herself. Then, as though it had been waiting for her, the telephone rang. Gage had proudly transferred the call. She took a deep breath, readied herself, and picked up the receiver. Again, it started with silence. She realized that the person at the other end was trying to irritate her and make her feel uncomfortable, and she got angry. Deep blue jeer. Oh my god. Oh my god. This music is so good. Again, that unpleasant voice.
私を愚弄する気ですか。要件を追いなさい。
母さんと遊びたい。
何を言っているんですか、あなた。私はあなたとなど遊びたくありません。
親族会議で疲れたんだろ。持病の頭痛がだいぶ辛いんじゃないかね。
余計なお世話です。
Just the fact that he knew her headache was troubling her made her shiver run up her spine.
頭痛になるのは頭が凝ってるからだ。そのままベッドに入ったっていい夢は見られないよ。
だから余計なお世話だと言っています。切りますよ。
Natsuhi forcefully yelled that she was hanging up. Then in actuality, she couldn't. After all, being that the receiver end of a phone call was much better than the alternative. If she hung up violently, this person might then call someone else.
頭のこりをほぐすためにちょっとだけ遊ぼうよ。何？時間は取らせない。
Ooh, God.
あなたと遊ぶ気などありません。
母さんの名前はナッツ。名前に季節を持ってるね。いい名前だ。でもナッツだからって夏が好きとは限らない。母さんが本当に好きな季節は何だ。
それをあなたに教えると思いますか。
教えてくれないなら俺が切るよ。いいのかい？
It was clearly a threat. It meant that if she forced him to hang up the phone, anything might happen. Humiliated that she was forced to give in to a threat made by a man whose name she didn't even know, she gave him the answer he wanted.
秋です。
どうして？
過ごしやすい季節だからです。他に特に理由はありません。これで満足ですか？
ああ、満足だ。やっぱり母さんの好きな季節、俺と同じだったよ。
Ballard was born in what month?
俺も秋が好きなんだ。
Oh, I need to see his birthday again. Oh my god. That's like Kinzo's.
嘘つき、出任せを言うんじゃありません。
Surely, this man would have done the same thing no matter which season I said I liked. What is he after? What's so fun about making me uncomfortable like this?
嘘つきなんてひどいな。出任せなんかじゃない。俺は母さんが秋が好きだって確信してたよ。
Oh my god.
証拠？
ああ。母さんの部屋に時計はあるかい？
Is there a clock in your room, mother?
時計？ええ、ありますが、それが何か。
In Natsuhi's room, there was a beautiful antique clock with an intricate design. Krauss had bought it for her as a birthday present long ago.
今は0時7分ですね。
Ooh.
もう眠いので茶番を早く終わらせなさい。
How is Battler calling her?
持ち上げてみて。
どうしてです？
Oh my god.
俺の言うことにお前は歯向かうんじゃないよ。黙って言われた通りにすればいいんだ。
Oh man. Try lifting the clock. The tone of the man's voice suddenly went low, turning into a threat. It made his displeasure clear. At first, the man seemed to have a very calm way of speaking, but on the inside, that wasn't the case at all. She enraged this man even a little more. He would surely show his true nature right away. Oh my god, the ocean.
あんたが19年前にしたことを俺はいつだってあんたの旦那や娘に話すことができる。
Oh, so she cheated Krauss and then tried to abort her own child, or tried to kill her own baby, maybe. That's what I'm getting. Oh my
あなたが
god.
何の話をしているか知りませんが、夫や娘を巻き込まないでください。こうして私が電話を聞いていますから。
She tried to throw Battler in the sea. Oh my god. That's why it's the ocean, right? Oh man. Once again, the man threatened her in a low voice, as though warning her not to interrupt again. My head was filled with pain from my headache, the sound of my beating heart, and the roar of the sea. Oh my god. I'm defeated here. Oh my god. I can't disobey him anymore. As the man had ordered, I lifted up the antique clock. There lay what appeared to be a single playing card. It is the warranty for the clock? Thinking this, she took it and turned it over. Oh man.
眠気。冷めたかい？
どうして？こんな。
あんたの頭痛が少しは引いたなら嬉しいんだけどな。嬉しいって言ってよ。カナンさん。
どうやってこれを？どうして？どうやって？
嬉しいですって言ってほしいな。この人殺しめ。
Oh my god.
よくも潔癖な奥様面ができるもんだぜ、ヘドが。そのヘド。あんたの夫や娘にもぶちまけられたいから。嫌だろう。黙っててほしいだろ。ああ、黙っててやるよ。ほら、嬉しいだろ。嬉しいだろ。
Oh my god.
嬉しいです。嬉しいです。だからやめて。夫と娘に構わないで。何が要求ですか？お金ですか？いくらですか？
金なんか欲しくないよ。俺の傷は金をいくらでも。
Oh my god, I'm right. I think I'm right.
だが薬な。そうだな。それは軟膏みたい。ねっとり、ドロドロ、糸を。それはあんたへ。俺の歌、縁だ。 そいつを盗むしか痛みが抑えられないんだよ。
Natsuhi had never had anything so hateful said to her in her entire life. So she suspected many times that she must be having some sort of bad dream. However, this definitely wasn't a dream.
あなたはまさかこの島にいるのですか？
Oh my god.
約束しただろう。親族会議には出る。
不可能です。この台風では来られるわけもありません。
Battler being in the watermark instead of Beatrice now makes a lot more sense.
台風になる前から来てれば問題はないよ。それに台風の最中であってもエリカとかいう来客があったはずだ。
Her blood froze. Furudo Erika had supposedly been brought here by coincidence. If he knew that name, he would have to be very close by.
あなたはどこに
Right behind you, mother.
あんたの紹介がないうちは誰の前にも現れないさ。安心しな。おっと、俺を探しても無駄だよ。あんたの屋敷は広い。電話だってそこいら中にあるしな。あんただって俺に会いたくないだろう。それとも俺を見つけ出してみんなに紹介してくれるのか。ジェシカにも紹介してくれよ。一つ兄です。
Oh my god. Ballard and Jessica. Oh my god. The drama continues. Oh my god, the drama does not stop.
ジェシカに構わないで。
怖がらせすぎだ。今夜はこれで勘弁してやるよ。だが忘れるな。あんたは俺に逆らえない。分かってるな、母さん。 今夜はこれで電話を切るが、明日の朝まで命令がある。
何ですか。
あんたは今夜もその部屋を出てはならないし、どこにも電話をかけてはならない。電話がかかってきても取ることも許さねえぜ。そして今すぐ明かりを消し、布団をかぶって寝ろ。そしていつもの時間に起床し、健康的な生活でいいな。母さんの体をいたわるなんて。
Oh my god.
本当に俺は親孝行者だよ。
わかりました。今すぐ寝ます。部屋も出ません。電話も出ません。だから夫と娘には。
母さんが俺の命令を守る限り、あんたの秘密は守ってやるよ。命令を破るなよ。俺はもうお前のすぐ近くにいる。部屋の明かりが消えるかどうか、そして電話をしているかどうかさえ、俺さえ望んだら、あんたの寝顔にキスすることだってできるんだから。
Oh my god.
守ります。約束は守ります。だからやめて。もうやめて。やめて。
As she screamed, Natsuhi took the card she had found under the clock and crushed it up in a little ball. It had a pattern on it like a tarot card, and also a kanji for autumn. Oh my god. Let's step back into time once again. Right now, in the exact moment that the large clock in the hall announced midnight, wondering who the person who knocked twice was, the relatives in the dining hall stared at the door, so it wasn't Butler, or was it? I don't know. Rudolph told them to come in, but there was no answer. Until the end of that long tone marking the arrival of midnight, which had come from a large clock in the hall shortly after the knock, they were unable to move in the slightest.
手が塞がってて開けられないんじゃないのか。
かもな。だが、
the wind.
名乗らねえってのが薄気味悪いな。
開けますか。開けなさい。
Kanon nodded back, then slowly opened the door.
それは。
これは親父の封筒？
Right behind the open door on the floor of the hallway lay the envelope, Hell's
廊下に
Halls.
は誰もいません。これを置いて立ち去ったのでしょうか。
The adults flew out into the corridor as well, but they could not find no trace of anyone who might have knocked on the door. Just about an hour ago, Shannon and Kanon had come in to serve tea. That time, everyone had seen nothing lay on that spot. Someone came, knocked, left an envelope with the mark of the one-winged eagle on it, and left.
まさか親方様でしょうか。
It was Kumasawa, I think.
考えられない話じゃないわ。この屋敷で誰と呼ばれて返事をしないのはお父様くらいだもの。
Wait, isn't Rosa supposed to be in the guest house right now?
ありえないわ。
ならどうしてお父様は堂々と入ってこないの？
そうやな。お父さんだったらノックなどせずいきなり入ってくるやろな。今このお屋敷は戸締まりがされとるんやろ。ならここに手紙を置くことができるんはクラウスさんか夏日さん、そして源氏さんの誰かしか考えられんで。
By this point, the mansion had been completely locked up. Therefore, the cousins in the guest house, Nanjo, Gohda, Kurosawa, and Erika, could not have come here. Oh, sorry. Furthermore, since Krauss, Natsuhi, and Genji were the only three who weren't in this room, one of those three had to have been the one who set that letter down in the corridor. So it was very likely that Krauss and the others had placed the letter there to make it seem like a message from Kinzo.
なるほどね。お父様の名を語ってバトラ君を次期当主に認めないみたいなことが書いてあるのよ。バカバカしい兄さんめ。よくもこんな子供騙しを。
別に俺は次期当主なんて興味ねえぞ。
諦めろ。それがお前の運命なんだよ。とにかく中身を読んでみようじゃねえか。
Rudolph set the letter on the dining hall table and left everyone see the front and back to show that there were no tricks or hidden mechanisms, almost like a magician does before performing his act.
この封筒は間違いなくお父様の封筒なの？
ええ、間違いないわ。お父様が新書に好んで使う封筒よ。どう、シャノンちゃん。
はい、私の目にも親方様が使われる封筒に見えます。
This is a trick by Shannon.
だからってお父様が書いたってことにはならないわよ。兄さんならお父様の書斎の引き出しからひょいと手に入れることなんて造作もない話だわ。
クラウス様とて容易に書斎には入れません。封筒を盗み出すなど難しいことかと。
開けてみようぜ。それから考えても遅くないはずだ。何か入ってるな。なんだろうな。
Rudolph opened the envelope a bit roughly, then a folded letter and a glittering object fell out. It was a ring. Oh, Shannon. I think Shannon had the ring. USHIROMIYA.
ちょっと、その指輪。
Ava noticed it immediately and grabbed at it.
これ、お父様の指輪よ。当主の指輪だわ。
なんやて？ほんまか？
間違いなくお父様の指輪なの？レプリカということは？
これは本物よ。私はいつかこの指輪を自分の指に通してやるとずっと夢見てきたのよ。お父様が指にしてた時から私は誰よりもこの指輪のことをよく知ってるわ。これはお父様の指輪よ、間違いなく。どうしてここに？
じゃあやっぱりこの手紙はお父様が。
こりゃ差出人は親父じゃねえぞ。もっと面白い。
じゃあ誰からの手紙だってんだ？
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様からだぜ。
Rudolph showed everyone the part of the letter where that was written. It really did say that.
ベアトリーチェから？
なんて書いてあるの？
読むぞ。コングラッチュレーションズ。バトラ様が碑文の謎を見事に解かれ黄金鏡にたどり着きましたことを認めます。黄金はすべてバトラ様のものです。そして後ろ宮家の新しき当主もバトラ様です。その証として金蔵様よりお預かりしている当主の指輪をお送りします。どうぞバトラ様、指輪をされて新しい黄金の主となり、どうか後ろ宮家をお導きください。新しき当主のご活躍を心よりお祈りいたしております。なんてこった。親父が書斎から出てこねえもんだから森の魔女ベアトリーチェが直接バトラを認めてくれたわけだ。
Oh my god.
この指輪はあなたが持つの。これは当主が身につけるべき特別な指輪。ベアトリーチェが何者か知らないけれど、彼女は一部始終を見届け、あなたが真の跡継ぎだと認めてこの指輪を贈ったのよ。
いいんすか、こんな重要な指輪を。
ああ、いいんだ。誇らしげに指にはめるといい。いいか、兄貴や夏日さんが外せと言っても絶対に外すんじゃねえ
ぞ。Oh my god, Battler. Holy shit. All of the relatives with creepy smiles on their faces urged Battler to put the ring on his finger. It looked like things would get pretty nasty if he refused, so Battler reluctantly decided to put it on the middle of finger of his left hand. The ring was heavy and stiff. At that moment, Krauss returned. Genji came back as well, shortly behind him.
申し訳ないね。妻は具合が悪そうだったので先に休ませてもらった。何かあったのかね。なんだか諸君がひどく慌ただしいようだ。
バトラ様。
Oh my god, Genji notices it immediately. Immediately, Genji keenly spotted that which Battler had just put on his finger.
さすが源氏さんや。これが誰の指輪かわかるようやな。
何の話だね。
Judging by Krauss's dubious expression, it seemed unlikely that he was the one who placed the letter there. Furthermore, that expression quickly changed into one of shock. Oh my god, Ava must be so enjoying this.
そうよ、後宮家当主の指輪よ。
I cannot imagine Ava's glee. The family conference took up this new topic, and the storm came once again. Oh my god. Ooh. 3 in the morning. The rain was still pouring down as hard as ever. This weather was supposed to continue all day tomorrow as well, which made me feel a bit depressed. Oh wait, given the time, I should say today, not tomorrow. That doesn't really matter now. I'm sleepy. With half-asleep eyes, I opened my umbrella. The large drop of rain pounded mercilessly against it. Technically, the end of the family conference had been declared at 1 a.m., but external scuffles kept continuing sluggishly. I'm really jealous of Aunt Rosa, who had managed to slip out of there at that time. She cleverly got away by saying that she'd check on Maria, who had been staying up too late. That caught me ruining my chance to escape. They made me stick around until now, 3 a.m. So, what they had decided on after all this time? Nothing at all. They just kept on arguing about who said what, like elementary school children. I'm sure they are tired too. That's probably why they keep dragging on with the same pointless questions. I no longer feel any shock or anger towards them. I guess drowsiness is the best painkiller. I left them behind, and finally returned to the guest house. Oh my god. Is he gonna find George? When I got back to the guest house, the first floor lounge was lit. I could even hear people chatting inside. Apparently some people were still awake even this late. Despite this late hour, Gohda-san and Dr. Nanjo was still up and chatting. Plates and cups were lined up on the counter, and it looked almost like a bar. With Gohda-san as the bartender, when they noticed I have arrived, they seemed to finally realize how late it was. When Gohda-san made to top off Dr. Nanjo's glass, the latter declined with an exaggerated gesture.
もう結構です。この時間では夜更かしのしすぎだ。
もうこんな時間とは、南條先生があまりにお話がお上手なもので、ついつい。
それを言ったらあんたの酒の魚のおかげだ。また別の機会に一杯やりましょう。
Oh my god.
喜んで。バトラー様、お帰りなさいませ。まだ旦那様方の会議は続いておりますか？
あの調子でグダグダと明け方までやるんだろうぜ。知ったことじゃねえぜ。
I spoke carelessly with a big yawn.
皆さん、案外体力が終わりですね。
Oh my god, you little gremlin. Oh man, I love you.
なんだ、お前までいたのか。
I already love you, man.
なんとなく流れでこちらでささやかな夜会が始まったもので混ぜてもらっていました。例のことは話してませんので。
Oh my god. Erika could be seen on the sofa. She had taken her shoes off and was lounging around as though she owned the place.
エリカ様も本当にいろいろなお話をご存知で。
She truly is a detective.
とても楽しく聞かせていただきました。
あんたは本当に博識だ。若いのに大したもんだよ。
どういたしまして。
Oh my god, that face is so good. Oh my god, that sprite is so amazing. Why?
フルドエリカはこの程度には博識ですので。
Erika grabbed the corners of her skirt and posed. This was somewhat less than graceful, considering that she was lounging on the sofa with her feet up.
ローザおばさんは
午前の1時頃にお戻りになりましたが、すぐに上がられ、お休みになられました。
That's probably true. After taking part in that conference for so long, I feel like flopping down in bed right away myself. I've had it. I'm tired enough that I might flop over right there, right here.
私たちもこれくらいにしましょう。ゴーダさんも明日の朝食の準備で朝が早いのでしょう。
朝食の仕込みはすでに済んでおります。どうぞ明日の朝食も大いにご期待いただければ幸いです。
In Gohda-san's eyes, the family conference is an open stage on which to display his culinary skills. It just invigorates him so much that he doesn't even get sleepy. Erika stood up, laughing at how youthful Gohda was. This became a sight that was time to disperse.
お片付けは私の方でしておきます。どうぞ皆様はお休みを。
Leaving the cleanup to Gohda-san, I went to the bathroom and then climbed the stairs to the second floor. Oh my god.
それでは皆さん、おやすみなさい。老骨にはちっと夜更かしが過ぎましたな。
おやすみなさい。南條先生、おやすみなさい。バトラさん。
Oh my god.
おやすみ。
Then, in the second floor hallway, we split up. Dr. Nanjo went to his own room. Erika went to her room. Why is this so clinical? And I returned to the cousin's room. Oh. I couldn't hear any sound of playing coming from our room. Oh my god. Could they have fallen asleep or... Oh. Could they have fallen asleep already? No surprise at this time of night. If they were still playing, they would have staying up way too late. Oh my god, is he gonna find our bodies? When I opened the door quietly, as expected, the room was already pitch black, except for a small night light. Everyone was already sleeping in their beds. I'm sure they all had a great time and played a ton. Then they probably talk about youthful things and enjoyed staying up late. If only I hadn't found the golds, I could enjoy my time with them. Oh my god, I'm already tired. So tired. Oh my god, Battler! Forgetting even to change my clothes or brush my teeth, I crawled into bed and immediately began to descend into the marshes of sleep. Ah, today's been so insane. Oh my god. I wonder if that old bastard is still in that family conference now. How does he not get tired? Come to think of it. How was it that old bastard said when we parted company?
明日家族で重要な話がしたい。お前に関わることだ。
Oh my god. I'm sure it's more stuff about being the success. No, it's not. Oh shit. I'm sure it's more stuff about being the successor. I don't even want to hear about it.
こいつを話せば俺は殺されるだろうね。
Oh man. I'll kill you whenever you want, you old bastard. And then what was it he said next?
お前の生まれについての話で。
Oh my god. My birth. Probably just something about this noble USHIROMIYA lineage. Is this what I think it's gonna happen? Oh my god, Battler. Battler, check on George. Check on Jessica and Maria now. Shit. Not interested. Just let me sleep. No, Battler, check on yours. Oh my god. They're already dead in their beds. Oh my god. Oh my god, Battler. Revenge for 19 years ago. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. It's too much. Rose is already dead as well, isn't she? Kumasawa as well. So it was Maria, George, Jessica, Rosa, and Kumasawa. All of them are in their rooms right now. Oh my god. Gohda. So Erika and Battler are not the culprits. Red, they were stated in red. And there was Gohda and Nanjo. And then Gohda and Nanjo in the guest house. Shannon and Kanon weren't to be seen until they arrived. Oh my god. No, I'm trying to get I'm getting ahead myself. Oh my god. I don't know. So Hideyoshi dies later as well. But why 5 instead of 5 with slit throats? And Hideyoshi with a stake on the back is what I remember from the character tips. Oh my god. Erika, you are on top of S rank. Almost S rank plus. Oh my god. It's just for the personality and what you represent in the story. If I'm reading you correctly. Oh man. I think she's gonna be... I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do in the future, but I have a pretty good guess, I think, of what she's gonna become. She has a portrait, and I think she's gonna become a witch as well. Oh man. She's in S rank, almost breaking S rank plus. She's not there yet. She needs more screen time. But she's gonna be, she's like a similar person to what Eva Beatrice was, I think. That's the role she's gonna fulfill in the story. But more than that, she's gonna be a detective as well, and not the culprits. Because of the red truth that Lambda Delta said. Oh man. Thanks for watching.